firefighting operation.
So far, the victim's name has not been identified. Mandatory federal student loan payments resumed today after a 5-year hiatus that began with the pandemic. Reporter Phil Lipoff says missing a loan payment is not like missing a credit card bill.
Think about it like missing a mortgage payment or a car payment. And what happens then is they report to the credit bureaus, which then means it affects being able to rent an apartment or get a good rate on a mortgage.
While opponents say it's the wrong time to restart the payments, with many families struggling with higher prices, the White House insists prolonged student loan forgiveness is not sustainable. If you're planning on buying flowers for Mother's Day this weekend, get ready to pay more. Thanks to tariffs.
The Society of American Florists says tariffs are hurting the floral industry. Sherry Moon is owner of Buckhead Wrights Florist, and she says she's seen prices spike.
Like my roses come in from Ecuador, and I can say that they've almost doubled.
And the prices of things like floral foam and vases also going up, not to mention the shipping cost.
We used to go wire out to another shop a $45 arrangement, and now their minimums have gone up to $55 or $65 to get the same thing.
That means flowers will cost you more this year. Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
Meanwhile, it's a move that could have a big impact on Georgia's movie industry. President Trump says he has authorized a 100% tariff on movies filmed outside the U.S. He accuses other countries of trying to steal the U.S. movie industry by offering incentives to filmmakers. Reporter Michael Toscano says it'll likely be a challenge, though, to regulate.
U.S. films are often shot and produced in multiple countries for business reasons or location authenticity. America's top-grossing film so far this year,
This beautiful world and everything in it will wither and die.
a Minecraft movie made in New Zealand and Canada and partly produced by Warner Brothers, took in almost $400 million here.
And he says U.S. films often make their biggest paydays overseas, but that could be in jeopardy because of tariff wars. And federal investigators looking into 2 aborted landings in the nation's capital, including a flight with Atlanta-based Delta with more than 100 people on board.
Both flights were headed into Reagan National in Washington, D.C. last week and were forced to scrap their landings because of a U.S. Army Black Hawk helicopter flying some VIPs on a scenic route around the Pentagon. No one was hurt.
Bloomberg's Monica Rick says non-essential flights around the airport were permanently restricted back in January after an airliner collided with a Black Hawk, killing 67 people. It's 9:03. Mark Aram Show begins in less than 2 minutes. But first, live team coverage of traffic and weather. We start with triple team traffic now and Smile on Mark McKay.
Just slightly east, Judd, heading into the heart of the city on the connector northbound. Still going to be difficult from University Avenue exit 244 up to the I-20 interchange. No longer a crash in the travel lane 20 westbound at Moreland Avenue exit 60, but still slow as you leave East Atlanta heading toward the downtown connector. North side perimeter, hopefully just sunshine. Maybe a crash, though, as you approach Sandy Springs on 285 westbound. See the slowing from I-75 heading toward Riverside Drive exit 24. And what do you see now in Spaghetti Junction, Ashley Frasca?
Looks like some kind of maintenance work being done at the end of the 285 ramp onto 85 North and Spaghetti Junction. They're holding the left side of that ramp and just the far right lane of 85 North as you try to make your way up past Pleasantdale. 85 South still on and off the brake pedal. A little crowded between 316 and Indian Trail. Triple team traffic, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Partly cloudy today, high 73, cool for tonight, lows in the upper 40s, low 50s. Tomorrow, a mix of sun and clouds, high 77. Rain showers return on Wednesday with highs in the upper 60s to low 70s.
54 degrees in Alpharetta, 52 in Palmetto, 55 degrees in Midtown Atlanta at 9:05. More news at 9:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Jed Hickenbotham, 95.5 WSB.
Good Monday morning, friends. Hope you had a fantastic weekend. We've got a fantastic show for you, stacked and packed through the roof. 30 minutes from right now. Going to go live to Jerusalem. Robert Berger is going to join us live from CBS News. The Houthis attacked the main international airport in Israel, igniting a firestorm there. Robert's going to join us live with the latest on that. Don't forget, 10 o'clock hour, another chance for you in $1,000 in the 5K a day bonus blitz. We're going to go up to Washington, D.C., get the latest. President Trump had a busy weekend, least of which was that what some are calling a controversial Trump Pope meme. Possibly adding tariffs to foreign movies and reopening Alcatraz. We got a ton of stuff to get caught up to date on that. We're going to go to D.C. and get the very latest. I want to start, though, with a unique experience, I'm going to put it that way, I had over the weekend. So if you're not familiar, Shohei Ohtani is like the modern day Babe Ruth. And more than that, he is a cultural icon in Japan. It's like if you put Babe Ruth and Michael Jordan together. If you ever go to Japan, Shohei Ohtani's face is on every billboard. The entire island of Japan watches Dodgers games. It's just, he's a national hero. So my wife is Japanese, and she really wanted to see Shohei Ohtani play baseball, and the Dodgers were in town this weekend. Now, last year, I tried to facilitate Maya to see Shohei at Truist Park, and I got tickets to go to the game. Judd Higginbotham and his son and Maya and myself, we were set to go to Truist Park to see the Dodgers take on the Braves last year, but Maya felt under the weather and didn't make the trip. And again, bad husband that I am, I went to the game with Judd and his kid, right, Judd?
We had a great time.
We had a great time. I felt so bad, though, because, Maya was looking so forward to seeing Shohei Ohtani in person. Luckily, I got a second chance at redemption this weekend. Dodgers were back in Atlanta, and so I got tickets to Saturday's game. Now, thanks to Lori and Brian, friends of ours, they hooked us up with tickets, so we were going to go to the game with them. And if you might recall, Saturday night, there was some severe weather in the area. So I was texting with Lori before the game. What are the plans? What are we going to do? Is the game going to be rained out? Is it going to be delayed? We didn't know what was going on. It was all in flux. So I said to Maya, I'm like, all right, let's just drive to the area of Truist Park. We'll have dinner there, and then we'll make a decision on what we're going to do after that, whether there's going to be a game or not. So that was the plan. So I'm driving from my house in Decatur over to Truist Park. And then I realized, so the rain was supposed to start at around 7:45, 7:50, 8 p.m. Game was set to have first pitch at 7:15. Shohei Ohtani is the leadoff hitter for the Dodgers. He bats first. The away team bats first, when they're in Atlanta. So I was like, you know what, Maya, let's bag dinner. Let's just go to the park early, and let's watch a couple innings before the rain comes in. That way you can see Shohei play, you can see him hit, and then we'll, depending if there's a delay or whatever, we can go somewhere else.
It's a good game plan.
It was good game plan.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because Shohei's going to bat first. That's Maya just wanted to see. Maya's a Braves fan, by the way. She was a Braves fan before I was, but she's loved Shohei Ohtani, just like the entire island of Japan. So we get to the game, get the seats, and 300 level seats, first row down the first base side. Great seats. Thank you, Lori. And we're sitting there, and Maya's got the radar app out, like, all right, it's not going to rain till about 7:50. They do the national anthem. They do all this stuff. And I'm like, all right, the plan's working. We're going to, and then right as they finish the anthem, you were at the game, Judd, actually, with a bunch of young ball players.
Yeah, I was.
Your son's teammates, I guess. You took him to the game?
Yeah, it was a big thing for the Little League park that we went to. We got to be on the field beforehand. It was cool. But then, right then, boom, right before first pitch, they have that.
Yeah, so they do the national anthem. They announce the lineups, and they're like, Braves fans, we are in a weather delay. We will keep you posted. And it was like, our plan was shot to hell.
Because then you saw the radar. It wasn't going to play for a while.
Like they had a nice 40-minute window to play. Right. But in baseball terms, not to get too in the weeds, though, if you start a game, you play 3 innings, then you have a long rain delay, you can't bring your starting pitcher back in. I mean, it's not against the rules, but it's just not healthy for the arm. Right. So I was like, and adding to this, it was a Fox Sports game. So they wanted, so I was like, so they're like, I really thought the plan was working to perfection. So then I had a thought. I was like, the game's delayed now. We don't know when it's going to start. Let me check out StubHub, because I can't afford, I got free tickets thanks to Lori and Brian. Like when the Dodgers are in town, first of all, the entire Japanese population of the southeastern United States was at Truist Park on Saturday.
There's a lot of folks.
They traveled for miles to see it. So ticket prices, wherever the Dodgers go, if they're on the road, the ticket price, and I can't afford Dodgers tickets to see Shohei. Last year, Judd, we got gifted those tickets from a listener. So
yeah, absolutely.
And I'm like, you know what? With the uncertainty of the rain delay, let me go on StubHub and see what's going on. And this is the point of the story, giving you advice. So it's in doubt. Indefinite rain delay. People that have their tickets on StubHub are freaking out. They're like, I got to get something for him. We don't know. And my thought was either one of two things are going to happen. They're going to delay this game and it's going to be played late into the night, or they're going to cancel it and there'll be a doubleheader on Sunday. So I go on StubHub and I see these seats right first row behind the Dodgers dugout.
Oh.
Normally, for a game like that, I couldn't afford it. They were discounted about 90%.
Oh, my gosh. Really?
And I was like, all right, Maya, this is your day. Boom, hit them on StubHub. First of all, StubHub fees are ridiculous.
Yeah, they are.
It was like I bought a third ticket just for the fees. So out of nowhere, like a miracle, like a papal Trump miracle, I was able to get front row seats behind the Dodgers dugout.
Oh, my gosh. You can't get closer to Shohei.
Could not get close. We were 10 feet from Shohei. Maya was losing her mind. Now, this adventure continued because we were waiting this rain delay, and it was pouring down, and we hunkered down. We were sitting in this little spot inside the venue. We did eat first, though. We had a hot dog and chicken nachos. It was delicious. So finally, they announced that they're going to start the game at 10:15 p.m. Mm-hmm. Now, you know me. I'm usually in bed before 9 p.m.
Absolutely.
But I'm like, we're not wasting this show. I was kind of hoping they would cancel the game, and then we can come back and have the great seats for the day game the next day. But they decided to go on with it. And so 10:15, we get down there. But it was the greatest move ever. I got these tickets for 90% off.
That's crazy.
They were cheaper than a Wednesday day game against the Brewers. Like, it was amazing. I never would have been able to afford it. So there's a little hint. If there's a possibility of inclement weather, people that have the good seats are going to freak out and panic and drop the prices just to get something out of them.
That's a great idea.
And we did it. And it was great. Maya had a great. We stayed through like the sixth inning.
Ohtani hit a homer.
Ohtani hit a homer. Maya's mom was watching it in Japan.
Oh, wow.
Saw us on TV. Sent us a screenshot. It was. I mean, I'm the hero in this story.
Way to go.
Yeah, I am the absolute. Now, I didn't go to bed till 2:30 in the morning on Sunday. It was ridiculously late. But I fought through. Judd, on the other hand, went the other route. You didn't stay for the game.
Man, I hate leaving early, but when they said, you just looked and said, this thing's not going to start till at least 10. And so we had to leave. And so we got out of there. Had little kids with us, so we couldn't do it. But we got to be on the field beforehand.
That is really
all my
cool.
kids, by the way, are looking, where's Shohei? I got Ohtani. I had a card they want to get him signed. I was like, dude, he's not coming out. Trust me.
Yeah, it was, and I got to see Freddie Freeman. Like, I was 5 feet from Freddie Freeman.
Yeah, that's cool.
It was such a great time. So there's a little tip from your Uncle Mark. If you want to get great seats and not pay a great amount of money for them, check out, if you're at Truist Park and there's rain in the area, jump on any of the apps. I use StubHub, Ticketmaster, whatever, and the people with those high valued seats are like, "Ooh, we better sell these puppies."
I hope Maya appreciates what you did for her.
Oh yeah, it was the day of Maya. I was like, "This is it," and she, because I don't, you know me. I waited 3 hours. 3 hours. I don't wait 3 hours for anything. But I saw how excited Maya was to see Shohei Ohtani. And there was a Japanese pitcher, Roki Sasaki.
Yeah.
Suzuki. Yeah. Roki, yeah. So I mean, it was well worth it. I slept till 10:30 a.m. on Sunday, by the way. I have not slept in that, but what an adventure! And Judd bailed before they announced. I don't know if this is
sorry.
No, it's fine that you bailed. I get it. You had like 24 kids with you,
right.
But I don't know if it's all rain delays. But Deborah, they announced that all food and non-alcoholic drinks were 40% off for the rest of the game.
Oh, I probably still wouldn't get in.
I know you wouldn't, but the ballpark food is expensive, but 40% off. You got Dippin' Dots on the way out.
My kids, they wanted Dippin' Dots, and I was like, wait, what's the price on this? I didn't realize it's 40% off till you told me later.
Yeah, no alcohol, but cool. It was a great time. I will never. That was a once in a lifetime opportunity. Unless I win Mega Millions, I'll never be able to get first row behind the dugout to see Shohei Ohtani.
Next time, everybody's going to be scooping those tickets because you just told them. So you're not going to get them next time.
Now, I shouldn't mention this, but there's like 3 interpreters on the Dodgers team because they have guys from Korea and Japan. And one of the interpreters was making googly eyes at Maya. And I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know how I feel about it. Because my goal was to have her become the interpreter, the translator for the
team. That'd be nice, right?
I'm like, yeah, drop it. It was insane. What a great time. Great. And Truist Park is great too. There's so much to do even during a rain delay. It was phenomenal. But I'm so proud and so happy I was able to get that done. And I'm sorry we didn't get to share Dippin' Dots.
Sorry, buddy.
Yeah.
Sorry, we left. And you got on TV, I guess, a little bit in the
In
background
Japanese,
too, right?
in Japanese TV.
Oh
Yeah,
my gosh,
it's in
that's
my.
awesome.
I think it's in my Instagram story at Mark Aram. My mother-in-law sent a picture of us above the dugout on Japanese TV. You can see the little Japanese writing on it. I was like, yes, I'm a Japanese TV star. Anyway, I just wanted to share that little tip. If you want really good seats, if you're at a game that has the possibility of rain, you can save a ton of money because people, and I get it, if I owned those seats, I'd want to get something for them. Why, give me something instead of nothing. So it was a fantastic experience. So thanks to the Braves, and thanks to the person on StubHub that took a massive loss on those seats. All right, coming up. Speaking of tickets, we got a concert ticket warning. There's a scam going out. We are in the midst of the concert season, so I don't want you to get scammed on any tickets. Speaking of tickets, Deborah's got a new prize pack to give away today. We'll do that in the 11 o'clock hour. Alice Cooper and Judas Priest, Thursday, September 8th at Ameris Bank Amphitheater. There's no ticket scam here. You want tickets on the Mark Aram Show. It is legit. All right, let's check that Monday ride around town. Live to Atlanta's only 24-hour traffic center. Here's Mike Shields.
And pretty slow on the north side perimeter, Mark, as you leave Cobb County into Sandy Springs on 285 eastbound the Interloop, just past Riverside Drive, exit 24. At least one lane is blocked, and that with the sun in your eyes, bumper to bumper as you leave I-75. And new trouble in Spaghetti Junction is the 285 eastbound ramp to 85 northbound. At the end of the ramp, left lane blocked with tractor-trailer trouble, just adding to delays leaving Doraville. This support is brought to you by Active Pest Control. Termites are one of the most destructive pests. Let Active Pest Control develop a custom termite control plan for your home. For a free quote, visit ActivePestControl.com today. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
On air,
online,
on the app,
where you get your news,
is where you'll win.
Download the WSB radio app now and maybe win $1,000.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
5 words, 5 times a day, every weekday.
Oh my God, you just made my day.
Just enter the word at WSBradio.com or on the WSB radio app.
Your next chance to win is coming up at 10.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz
on 95.5 WSB.
Scott Slade here from iRoofer, FGA Roofing. Are you considering a new roof but not sure when you're going to be able to get it into the budget? FGA Roofing is offering a 000 offer this month. 0 down payment, 0 interest for 12 months, and 0 monthly payments. Search FGA Roofing for a free quote today.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group, to discuss one of the biggest blind spots that people face when saving for retirement, and it's a head scratcher. Chris, how do so many people not know what they're invested in?
That's the biggest flaw that everybody runs into. They think they know what equities they have, they think they know what bonds they have, but they really don't know how those mutual funds or how those index funds are performing in conjunction with one another. So, I would liken this to a big pot of soup and we're just throwing all the ingredients in the refrigerator in this thing. It's not very good. It's just a mishmash of stuff. And sometimes you like the way it tastes. Sometimes you don't. And when you don't know why. You don't know if you got too much chicken in there or too much vegetables in there or what's going on. And I ask every caller that comes in for an initial consultation, do you know how your portfolio is broken down? And they say, well, I've got, 20 or so options in my 401k, and I just picked 2 of them or 3 of them. I thought I needed some international. I thought I needed some U.S. equities. I thought I needed some bonds. And they're just guessing. So you have to absolutely know what you're invested in, and that's where we will run the 401k portfolio x-ray for you, because that'll break it down. If you're not proficient at investing and don't understand this world, we will walk you through it. Not knowing what you're invested in is a big hindrance to growing and protecting your money. We will run a portfolio x-ray for you and educate you on exactly what's in your portfolio.
Set up a time to get your complimentary portfolio x-ray today. Call the Hoffman Financial Group at 404-737-3858. That's 404-737-3858, or book online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
Men, Trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
History had the gold rush, then came the oil boom, then the tech boom, but right now, it's the Wi-Fi boom, and Xfinity Wi-Fi is booming. Hey, it's Mark Aaron back with you. Streaming, booming. Gaming, booming. Video calls, booming. Even when your boss schedules a meeting, that definitely could have been an email. And now you can get Xfinity Internet and mobile together all in one plan. It's the ultimate power couple. Wi-Fi Power Boost from Xfinity Mobile gives you faster, secure Wi-Fi speeds at home and on the go, so your Wi-Fi is booming wherever you are. Now through June 23rd, new customers can get 400 megabit Xfinity Internet with free equipment and unlimited internet data, and get one unlimited 5G mobile line included, all in one plan, all for $40 a month for 1 year. Visit Xfinity.com to learn more. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Taxes, fees, extra. Xfinity Mobile requires Xfinity Internet. Reduced speeds after 30 gigs of data usage. Data thresholds vary after 1 year. Rate increases to $110 a month. After 2 years, regular rates apply to all services up to $143 a month. Actual speeds vary.
Founded by hardworking Georgians in 1992, Builders provides tailored insurance solutions to safeguard workers and business owners from costly accidents. Explore reliable workers' compensation and general liability products at BLDRS.com. Builders, insurance built strong.
It's long been a symbol, Alcatraz, of whatever it is. I mean, it's a sad symbol, but it's a symbol of law and order. And, it's got quite a history, frankly.
Welcome to the Rock.
9:23 on the Mark Arum Show. That is, President Trump wants to reopen Alcatraz prison to send our baddest prisoners. We'll discuss that a little bit on the show. A couple of other President Trump stories. But remind me, by the way, well, I'll have Vinny remind me, stars of the show early on today for both Deborah and Longoria, both working on Cinco de Mayo. Both working on Cinco de Mayo.
Should be a national holiday for us.
We should be off today.
If you were Gen Z Mexican Americans, you'd be off.
Yeah.
You'd be off, 100%.
And if it was my birthday, forget it.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, happy Cinco de Mayo. There's a bunch of restaurants that are giving away some deals for Cinco de Mayo. I will give you those details closer to the lunch hour. Maybe pique your interest on what you want to do for Cinco de Mayo. You definitely want to hear this story, though. First off, let's talk about this ticket scam. I mentioned I got the tickets on StubHub at Truist Park. Like, I was in the park when I bought the tickets. But you got to be careful. You know, we've covered stories of scalpers. You get bad tickets. I think now these days everything's digital. So I don't even know what those scalpers are doing for a living anymore. Maybe they have just developed new ticket scams, Deborah. A warning for folks that are getting scammed when it comes to purchasing tickets.
Yeah, it's outdoor concert season, and a lot of shows are rolling through Atlanta. So be careful when you're buying tickets, because there are these third-party sites. Scalper is not really the same anymore, but there's third-party sites, and they look like a legitimate site. Like, rather than Ticketmaster, it might be one letter off, but they'll use the same fonts and pictures and layouts and everything. So you think you're on a legitimate site, but they'll jack up the prices sometimes 3 times as much, and other times it's just fake tickets altogether, because it's just a digital code. You don't get anything anymore. So when you go to scan your code, you don't have tickets at all. So just make sure that when you are on those sites, they're verified, they're official partners. Try going to the venue, specifically that site, if you want to buy tickets.
Yeah, especially if you're getting like a Taylor Swift ticket. They're so expensive. If you're paying that kind of money, you want to make sure you're actually got a legitimate ticket. What do scalpers do now? They had to find, like, Mike Damone from Fast Times at Ridgemont High. You remember him? He was selling scalp tickets in the mall. What's his job choice now?
You can still find scalpers outside of events. Like,
Really?
People still print out. Yeah, because you can still print out the barcode and stuff like that if you want to. It's just, now you turn into like the person holding up the line because normally you just scan and go in.
Interesting. All right. This is an update for Georgians, Deborah. The tax rebate schedule. Governor Kemp announced that Georgians, because of the surplus we have, we're going to get some tax rebates. Do we know when these are going to drop, when we can expect this payment?
Okay, so if you filed by the May 1st deadline, it's kind of open here between 6 and 8 weeks. And so, just whenever you got your filing in, it's going to be about 6 to 8 weeks after that. So $250 for single, $375 for head of household, and $500 for jointly married couples. So, but next 8 weeks, you should start seeing those $500 rebates
All
coming.
right. So that's just whenever it pops. Like, that's a bonus, like 8 weeks from now. You're going to get that Governor Kemp 500 and be like, oh, hey, let's go to Whataburger, Maya. Let's go to Golden Corral, Maya. I do have a food story, too. Speaking of Whataburger, Rory O'Neill's going to join us, our correspondent. Fast food establishments absolutely getting raked over the coals right now. For some reason in this economy, they're calling it McRecession. McRecession, and what they're going to try to do to fight that. Quarterly earnings are dropping for like McDonald's and some of the big boys. So Rory O'Neill's going to join us in depth on that. Coming up, news, weather, and traffic. We go live to Jerusalem. Robert Berger joining us. Big movement over the weekend in Israel. The Houthis attacking the international airport in Israel. What's Israel's response and what happens next? Robert joins us live after news, weather, and traffic. Social media is active throughout the broadcast at Mark Aram and at WSB Radio. Don't forget, 10 o'clock hour on 1018. Another keyword in the 5K a day bonus blitz. Chance for you to win $1,000 on WSB.
We are here with CFP and investment advisor Aaron Vincent of the Vincent Financial Group and host of Retire ATL. And Aaron, you mentioned that taxes are on sale. What exactly does that mean? And is it something we need to take advantage of right now?
Yeah, Mark, it may not feel like it right now, especially this time of year, but when you look at history, we are actually in historically low income tax rates time. If you look back, tax rates have been significantly higher. And when you look at the national debt, which most reference at around $36 trillion, but when you consider the fact that with all the unfunded liabilities like Social Security and Medicare or Medicaid, it's actually north of $100 trillion. When we look at factors like that, there's a pretty good chance that tax rates actually go significantly higher again. So yeah, you can make an argument that right now taxes are on sale.
So Aaron, what can we do right now to take advantage of these low tax rates?
If you don't have an income plan in your retirement conversations, then you actually don't have a tax plan. That's important because if you don't have a plan for your money, guess who does? Uncle Sam's got one, and by default, you'll fall into that one. So we want to offer you a no-cost, no-obligation tax map. It's a deep dive into your retirement plan and specifically your tax strategy. From there, we'll make suggestions based on what's working or what opportunities could better fit your situation. The goal is for you to keep more of your hard-earned money while giving less to Uncle Sam. Call us at 770-280-1488. Again, that's 770-280-1488. Our home office is in downtown Woodstock, but we're available all across Metro Atlanta to meet you at a time and place that fits your schedule.
Taxes are not a seasonal conversation, and they're not going away once you retire. Take advantage of the complimentary tax map by calling the Vincent Financial Group today. 770-280-1488. That's 770-280-1488. And join us for Retire ATL Sundays at 6 p.m. right here on WSB. Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult with a qualified professional for guidance before making any purchasing decisions.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 9:30. I'm Judd Hickenbotham. News this half hour brought to you by Beaver Toyota of Cumming. Our top story, starting today, the Department of Education begins collecting debts on defaulted student loans yet again. It had been on hiatus for 5 years. Now about 5 million borrowers face mandatory collections.
A student loan default will stay on your credit report for up to 7 years. So that means it can impact and drag down your credit score for that long of a period.
The bank rate's Andrew Pentis says it could make it harder to qualify for loans. Those who are behind on their payments may also see garnishments of their wages or federal payments like tax refunds. It is 56 degrees in Midtown Atlanta. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards says cool weather will continue today. The high only getting into the low 70s under partly cloudy skies. Rain chance goes up as we head through the week. Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast is coming up. Well, new this morning in Georgia politics, there is a new entry in the race for lieutenant governor in the state. Democratic State Senator Josh McLaurin is launching his 2026 campaign. UGA grad represents Savannah and accuses Georgia Republicans of, quote, sucking up to President Trump and trying to copy his Doge approach to government. McLaurin is the first Democrat to announce his plans to run for lieutenant governor. Current Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones is believed to be considering a run for governor. Georgia applies to extend its work requirement for Medicaid recipients, but there's a catch.
Georgia's applied to extend its Medicaid expansion program for the next 5 years to help cover people under the federal poverty level. But it still includes a requirement to report 80 hours of qualifying work and activities per month. The state's application follows years of litigation and notes it's failed to meet its enrollment requirements. So officials have suggested some changes to reporting, like expanding requirements to include family caregiving duties and exemptions for older adults. I'm Bloomberg's Monica Ricks for 95.5 WSB.
And a resolution issued today from Atlanta City Council urging the state to reevaluate its police pursuit policies. It pushes for reforms by the Georgia State Patrol to stop pursuits because of the danger to other drivers and pedestrians. It also urges the Atlanta police chief to review protocols for requesting backup from GSP during minor traffic violations. An apparent cyber attack over the weekend is impacting the computer network today for Coweta County schools.
School officials identified the security breach around 7 o'clock Friday evening and immediately took the system offline and began protocols to identify risk exposure and the source of the attack. The district is in touch with GEMA and Homeland Security, and they're working with local, state, and federal security partners to resolve the issue. Because of the breach, all desktop computers are off limits for the time being, but student Chromebooks, Wi-Fi, and district cell phones do not appear to be affected. They also say the breach will not affect AP placement or milestone testing, which is set for the next 2 days. Graham Keel, 95.5 WSB.
And heads up for Target shoppers. The retail giant is adopting a new self-checkout policy to fight a recent surge in shoplifting. It says it's now limiting self-checkout to shoppers with 10 or fewer items. The company also says it's expanding its staffed checkouts to improve efficiency. Target says pilot tests show the new policy improves speed and customer satisfaction at its stores. It's 9:33 as we check your money and a down start here in Wall Street for your Monday. All major indices are well down this morning, including the NASDAQ down almost 1 full percentage point. Now live team coverage of traffic and weather. Starting the WSB 24-hour traffic center and Mike Shields.
Judd's in a jam in Sandy Springs with the crash blocking at least one lane on 285 eastbound the Inner Loop Riverside Drive exit 24 and delays back to I-75 also starting to impact 75 southbound ramping on at 285 eastbound. Also getting slow in Lawrenceville with right lane roadwork now set up. Highway 316 eastbound at Riverside Parkway. Delays start back before Sugarloaf Parkway. You can use Duluth Highway or Highway 29 as alternates. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Blue skies, sunshine, and a few clouds today. High 73, lows tonight in the upper 40s, low 50s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, high 77. Rain showers return on Wednesday.
59 degrees in Decula, 55 in Austell, 57 degrees right now in Midtown Atlanta at 9:34. More news at 10. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Judd Hickenbotham, 95.5 WSB.
When traffic hits.
I-75 completely shut down north and south between McDonough and Locust Grove.
The Triple Team Traffic Center has you covered.
Brake lights fill in on 316 westbound at Sugarloaf Parkway.
Your source for Atlanta's traffic.
Heavy police fire department activity.
Brought to you by the Cool Ray Lifetime Parts and Labor Warranty.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
Other nations, a lot of them, have stolen our movie industry.
Still to come, President Trump proposing foreign movie tariffs. But next, we got breaking news in the Mideast. We go live to Jerusalem. Robert Berger in 2 minutes on the Mark Arum Show. I know we just started spring, but already Maya and I have turned on the AC in our house a couple of times. Hey, it's Mark Arum back from my pals at Reliable Heating and Air. We are going to use our AC a lot this summer. I'm sure you will as well. Great new deal from my friends at Reliable. Check this out, folks. Get any size air conditioning, any size AC, just $69.99 a month. Zero down payment, low monthly payments, unbeatable lifetime warranty, and next day installation guaranteed, or they pay you $500. Yes, any size AC, just $69.99 a month, zero down, low monthly payments. Don't go into another sweltering summer with your old AC unit. Get a new one from my friends at Reliable. Book an appointment for a convenient time right on their website at reliableair.com and click on the Schedule Service button or call or text 770-594-9969, 770-594-9969.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for mouth-watering meals and appetizing ingredients. Our low prices add up to big savings, plus over $600 in digital coupons each week, and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. At Kroger, you always get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
You can save big on 12 packs of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or Canada Dry. Select varieties or buy 2, get 2 free with your card. Limit 8. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
The Scott Antique Markets is back at the Atlanta Expo Center, featuring hundreds of vendors with collectibles and merchandise from all over the world. We're on both sides of I-285 exit 55 on Jonesboro Road. Visit ScottAntiqueMarket.com for more information.
Hi, it's Tim Andrews for My Roofer FGA Roofing. Are you considering a new roof but not sure when you'll be able to get it in the budget? FGA Roofing is offering a 000 offer this month. 0 down payment, 0 interest for 12 months, and 0 monthly payments. Search FGA Roofing for a free quote today.
9:37 on this gorgeous Monday in Atlanta. Welcome back, friends. Mark Aram and crew with you till noon. Still to come, we're going to go up to D.C., get the latest on the Pope-Trump meme controversy. Don't forget, 10:18 a.m., going to give you a 5K a day bonus blitz keyword. Another chance for you to win $1,000 right here on 95.5 WSB. For now, though, we go live to Jerusalem. Joining us from CBS Radio News, our buddy Robert Berger. Robert, good morning. Thanks for your time.
Good morning.
Big breaking news Sunday, a failed interception of a missile fired from the Houthis forced Israel to briefly shut down its main international airport. What exactly happened on Sunday?
Yeah, the Houthis have been firing missiles at Israel really throughout this war. I would say 1 or so a day in the past couple of months. But 95%, according to the military, are intercepted. So you never really hear about it. This one, the one that was fired yesterday, escaped both Israeli and American anti-missiles and landed inside the perimeter of the airport. Now, it landed in an open field, but still it did land within this strategic facility, scaring passengers there at the airport, sirens going on, people wondering, flights delayed for about an hour, and then everything returned to normal. But, there are airlines, American airlines, such as United and Delta, who had just started flying here again after suspending flights for quite a while, and now they've suspended flights again, at least until the end of the week.
I'm trying to just even imagine if that happened at Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport. If someone fired a missile and it landed on the campus but not near the runway, what kind of panic would ensue? And it would just be the freak out level would be off the charts. Is it a more relaxed reaction by Israelis because, listen, they're in the middle of a war and they're used to having missiles fired at them on the daily basis?
Yeah, I would say so, but still, when it hit, there was a loud boom, which was heard inside the airport. And, until you actually find out, okay, where was the missile, or you don't even know in Israel, maybe it's a bomb or something like that. Things did really calm down and return to normal pretty fast. But having said that, the American airlines that I mentioned, and not only them, the British Air, Air France, a lot of them, 17 airlines have suspended flights here because, it looks bad. I mean, you're flying in, you don't know if a missile's going to come in and maybe hit your aircraft. So makes Israel look bad, not good for the economy. Israel trying to persuade these airlines that it's still safe to fly here.
Did we hear from the Prime Minister after this attack happened, and what did he have to say? Robert? All right. Vinny, try to get Robert back on it. There was another story I wanted to talk with Robert. Robert Berger in Jerusalem. Obviously, we have that's a long-distance call. Maybe we just exceeded our data threshold, Deborah. Our minutes. Did we go over our international minute? That's possible. We've been talking to people in Rome for the last month with the Pope. So,
yeah, they finally were like, no more.
The bean counter's like, all right, that's it. Yeah, enough. Anyway, Vinny's going to try to get Robert back on. While we have a second, though, I mentioned stars of the show going to Longoria and Deborah for being here on Cinco de Mayo, not calling out. Cinco de Mayo also brings some good deals for multiple restaurant chains. CBS's Jesse Mitchell on how you can score deals on Cinco de Mayo.
Multiple restaurant chains are offering some sizzling deals. Chipotle is giving out free chips and queso with the code Cinco25, while Taco Bell is giving out free nachos Bel Grande with delivery orders totaling $20 or more from DoorDash, Uber Eats, Postmates, or Grubhub. Baja Fresh will take $5.55 off an online purchase of $20 or more. Multiple restaurants are also offering $5 drink and appetizer specials today, including Abuelo's Mexican restaurant and Chili's.
Is it sacrilegious, Deborah, if I get Taco Bell on Cinco de Mayo?
No, that's the closest you can do, right?
Well, I mean, no, I can go to Botica and everything, but the free Nachos Bel Grande on Uber Eats would be, and my Uber Eats account is now hooked up to my Delta Sky Miles account.
Oh.
So I was like, can you do it retroactively? And they're like, no. All right, we got Robert Berger back on from Jerusalem. Robert, sorry about that. We lost you. I didn't hear your answer. Did we hear from the Prime Minister after this Houthi missile strike?
Yeah, he's threatening retaliation. And as I was saying, the problem with retaliating against the Houthis is that Yemen is about 1,000 miles away from Israel. So that requires refueling aircraft, and even though they have carried out some retaliatory strikes over the past 6 months, hitting oil facilities and ports and things like that, hasn't really deterred the Houthis. And don't forget, the Americans have been bombing the Houthis now for about a month, and they're still not deterred. So it'll take time. The Israelis are confident eventually they'll be able to stop it.
You mentioned Yemen's 1,000 miles away. Is that where this missile originated from?
Right. Yeah, this is from Yemen.
Wow.
So it's the Houthis, which are an Iranian-backed group that the United States has actually launched. It's been going on for a month or so now, daily strikes against the Houthis. Because they've been blocking a lot of shipping that goes through the Suez Canal, which also affects world commerce, not just Israel. But still, they were showing that they're not deterred, and they say they're not going to stop firing at Israel until the war in Gaza stops.
In the midst of all this, I'm glad you brought up the war in Gaza. The Security Cabinet voted through a plan to seize control of all of Gaza indefinitely. Tell us about that vote and what is the plan moving forward?
So this was the Israeli cabinet early this morning stepping up the military campaign of this long war, which has sort of been on a low burner and a stalemate the past couple of months after the collapse of the ceasefire. Now they're calling up 60,000 reservists, and they say the goal is to conquer the Gaza Strip, move most of the Palestinian population to so-called safe zones, and try to eliminate Hamas and their terrorist infrastructure, such as tunnels, and defeat Hamas. And of course, the main aim, in addition to disabling Hamas, is to try and get back the Israeli hostages.
And is that on the back burner now? It seems like if push came to shove, that's not priority number one anymore for Prime Minister Netanyahu. It's more of controlling Gaza as opposed to bringing the hostages home.
That's been a big debate over here, and there's a lot of opposition, of course, from the families of the hostages and government opponents who say just that, that the government is prioritizing defeating Hamas instead of the hostages. Polls show that a majority of Israelis are ready to end the war in order to get the hostages back. This government doesn't want to end the war because it would leave Hamas in power, which means that Hamas would still pose a threat. So this is a subject of intense debate in Israel. A lot of people aren't happy about it. And so far, Israel, to be honest, after, a year and 7 months of war or so, haven't been able to knock out Hamas. So a lot of people wonder, why will it be different this time?
Why is this night different than all other nights, Robert? Robert Berger, CBS
As they
News
say.
Jerusalem. Robert, as always, thanks so much for your time. Please stay safe, my
Mark.
friend. There you go. Robert Berger, two big stories there. Listen, I understand Israel's got the Iron Dome, but this wasn't like a short-range missile launch from Gaza. This was a Houthi missile from Yemen, 1,000 miles away. Normally, Israel will pick that up, pluck it out of the sky. And it hit the airport, the Ben Gurion airport, the big airport there. Can you imagine if that happened at Hartsfield-Jackson? Like, oh, we got a missile. It hit the park and ride lot. Thankfully, no one would get on a flight. They're like, what do you mean a missile? But Israelis, they're used to it. They're like, all right, well, hour delay. All right, let's go. Food court's back open. Let's go. Crazy stuff. Do have an update on tariffs. Again, ever-moving, ever-fluctuating tariff situation. We got a warning in the automotive industry, Deborah, from General Motors, one of the big three. What are they warning about with these tariffs now?
Yeah, so GM is estimating that with the increased tariffs, they're going to cost the automakers about $5 billion. They cut their profit projections by 20%, so they're thinking they're going to make $10 billion this year, which is down from the 12 that they originally estimated. But their chief financial officer said because of all these tariffs, they're probably going to have to raise prices from 0.5 to 1% this year. However, they are trying to move some production plants to Indiana. They're going to ramp up production in Fort Wayne to see if that'll kind of offset some of the prices from tariffs out of country.
Interesting, but they're still in a profit. It's just going to be a smaller profit.
20% less is what they're estimating.
All right. Well, but they're still in the black, right? Which is,
Yeah.
I guess, good news. Again, the uncertainty on what, God forbid, if you are in the market for a car, like poor Vinny Drip, eventually your grandma's car that she gave you is going to run out, and you got to get out a new one. I wonder if tariffs affect leases. I bet lease prices go up too, right? Fewer cars coming in. I bet the cost of a lease goes up as well. All right, interesting. We'll monitor the tariff situation and the markets throughout the day. Markets opening down a smidge or so. Dow's down $1.94, NASDAQ down 135, S&P down 46 points, but it is early on. All right, when we come back, you guys remember Skype? Skype was really big during the pandemic as everyone was doing those, telecommuting. Skype is soon to be no more. It's shutting down. I'll give you the details on that after we check your ride around town on this beautiful Monday. Where are the traffic hotspots now, Mike Shields?
Well, we've had it in Sandy Springs, Mark, on the north side perimeter on I-285 eastbound, the interloop right past Riverside Drive to 24. But good news, within the last 10 minutes, crash has cleared to the right shoulder, and things are improving, but still sluggish as you leave I-75 getting over the river. And heads up for delays quickly forming getting into Lawrenceville with right lane roadwork, Highway 316 eastbound at Riverside Parkway. You can avoid the delays, so start back almost to I-85 and use Highway 120 Duluth Highway or Highway 29. This support is brought to you by Staples Stores. Your local Staples store has hot deals and super low prices throughout the store on everything for your business. Save even more with easy rewards programs at Staples. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
Eric Erickson.
I try even when I don't agree.
The opinions expressed are his.
To at least exercise some basic empathy.
And that's what makes you listen.
Coming in like a wrecking ball, taking it all out. It's fantastic.
Eric Erickson.
Today, starting at noon.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Wow, holy smokes, amazing. The exact words my follically challenged friend had when I showed him the before and after pictures at advancedhair.com. Wow, holy smokes, amazing. You'll have the same reaction, folks. It's Mark Aaron, back for my friends at Advanced Hair. Go to the website, check out the before and after pictures, advancedhair.com. Why are the pictures so stunning? Because what Advanced Hair does works. It's guaranteed to work. It gives your hair new life. Yes, your real hair begins to regrow the very next day, and it's guaranteed to grow for life. If you want your hair back, now's the time. Advanced Hair is the place. Takes just one visit, but first you need a free consultation. Schedule now, 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com, and if you move forward, you get $250 off plus $250 free grafts. One-day treatment, life-changing results, your own natural hair guaranteed to grow. Check out the before and afters at advancedhair.com.
Is painting the house on your project list? Make this the last time you paint with Rhino Shield, backed by a 25-year warranty.
Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Attention seniors, do you want more personalized healthcare with more one-on-one time with your doctor? Then join us at the grand opening of CenterWell Swanee. CenterWell offers senior-focused primary care that's centered on you. Celebrate with us on Wednesday, May 14th, near the Walmart off Interstate 85 here in Swanee from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Enjoy food, music, and more at this free community event. Plus, tour the new doctor's office and meet the care team. For details, visit CometoCenterwellGeorgia.com. That's CometoCenterwellGeorgia.com.
For over 8 years now, QC Kinetics has been the nation's leader in non-surgical relief for joint pain with over 50,000 satisfied patients. People with knee and back pain now living pain-free, shoulder and hip pain gone. Hey, it's Mark Arum. What they're doing is nothing short of remarkable. They're using regenerative cell therapy to restore the tissues in your achy joints. They're using biologic growth factors with robust healing properties carefully and strategically placed in your joint. It's a powerful and potent way to give your joints new life, repairing that old tissue. Best part, with QC Kinetics, no drugs, no surgery, and there's no downtime. This is an all-natural, cellular level option with lasting relief. The patient satisfaction reports are astonishing. Call QC Kinetics now and learn about these cutting-edge treatments that can help you live your best life, truly your best pain-free life. Call 770-285-8026, 770-285-8026. That's 770-285-8026.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? When it comes to Big Wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get your second month free for a limited time. You'll get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Plans start at just $20 a month. Here's Veronica and Jackie, real customers.
I didn't know that I could get something for a lot less money that was actually better than who I was with before.
Anytime anybody complains about their cell phone bill, we say, you've got to check out Consumer Cellular.
And now for a limited time, new customers can get their second month free when they use promo code SECONDFREE. Just call, click, or bring us your bill and see how much you can save. Because when it comes to Big Wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit a store near you, or consumercellular.com and use code SECONDFREE to get a free second month. Real people paid to share their opinions in this ad. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
I've found your next go-to service team for Porsche, Mercedes-Benz, BMW, Audi. It's Wolf Pen European Auto Repair in Roswell. Honest pricing with certified factory techs who won't run up the tab with repairs you don't need. See the difference when you search Wolf Pen Auto Repair.
This general's odd. Even if I surrender, there's no guarantee he'll keep his word. But there's a chance. I can save Earth by turning myself in.
That's the voice of Superman, who turns 42 years old today. Henry Cavill? Cavill? How do you pronounce that, Deborah? Henry Cavill?
Henry Cavill?
Cavill?
I think so. Cavill?
British-born actor. He played Clark Kent and Superman in The Man of Steel. He looked, to me, of all the Supermen in my life, he looked the most like Superman, like the comic version of Superman. Him and then Christopher Reeve, I think, would be number 2. Dean Cain, maybe, number 3. But Cavill apparently is a jiu-jitsu expert. Like, he's jacked, so I don't think you'd start a bar fight with him anyway. But apparently he's like an MMA dude, too. Anyway, I thought he was a good Superman. Welcome back to the Mark Arum. Oh, speaking of movies, we're going to talk about this later in depth. President Trump is wanting to put tariffs on foreign-made movies in an effort to save Hollywood. We're going to talk about that in just a little bit, but interesting. Anyway, Skype. What did we use here at the station during? We were always here. I mean, we were the what do they call that?
We have Clean Feed also.
Yes, but when essential workers. Yeah, Deborah Longoria, myself, we were essential workers during COVID. We came to the studio every single day. We didn't do anything remotely. But when people were doing, was it Skype or Microsoft Teams or what the heck were people using here? I know Skype was the big one.
I think
Teams,
it was Teams
is the
also.
one we use.
Microsoft Teams. Not that we used it because we were here all the time, but Skype apparently is a Microsoft product, and I don't know why. I guess because everyone's going back to the office, Deborah. But Skype is shutting down now.
Yeah, Skype is shutting down today, actually. So if you use Skype, today is your last day, unless they already shut it down, but today is your last day to use Skype. It's basically because Teams is so similar, which is also owned by Microsoft, but they offer a lot more features than Skype did. Skype was kind of like, hey, if you want to make international calls, you don't have to pay for it on Skype, but you can do things like messaging and file sharing and calendars on Teams. So they're so similar. They're like, oh, we don't need both. So Skype going away today.
I mean, but for Microsoft to pull the plug on that, how did they get behind? They should be the front runners for everything, but it's gone. No one's shedding a tear. Apparently, I'm the only one who's like, oh, Skype is gone.
Did you use it?
I don't know.
I don't think we used it.
No, we used Microsoft Teams, which is annoying in itself. Well, I guess Microsoft Teams, so they already have something. They don't need Skype. Anyway, I don't care. If you guys don't care, then I don't care. I thought it was a big story that it was gone.
Zoom is the other big one.
Zoom, yes, thank you,
That's
Deborah.
it.
All right, here's a would you rather question, Deborah. Would you rather fly in and out of Ben Gurion Airport in Israel or Newark Airport in New Jersey?
Oh, geez, aren't they about the same at this point? I'll take my chances in New Jersey.
All right, let's see. Apparently, Newark, New Jersey's having a rough time of it.
On Sunday alone, more than 140 additional flights canceled here at Newark. 400 delays. Among them, a flight from Los Angeles into Newark. Caroline from Hoboken was on board. She says they circled around Pennsylvania over an hour, and then this.
There was like a flash and a bang near the cockpit. Was it lightning? Like, it looked like it came from inside the plane. And then there was like a smell of smoke for like 20 minutes after.
Runway repairs and traffic control issues, they just keep on going here. Glenn Schuck for CBS News at Newark Liberty.
So I mentioned the worst airplane experience I ever had was when I sat in the tarmac for 7 hours at Newark. I hate that airport just from that one thing. But apparently there's been massive staffing shortages there. And some major carriers said for the safety of our passengers, we are not flying to Newark anymore. That's a quote. For the safety of our passengers, Newark is that bad. They're like, we're not even just going to fly there anymore. That's insane. This isn't a it's Jersey. I shouldn't say that. But it's not a third world country. It's the United States of America. Make Newark great again. Newark was never great. That's crazy. So you might be safer flying into Ben Gurion Airport and dodging Houthi missiles than into Newark International. All right, news, weather, and traffic straight ahead. When we come back, we're going to go up to D.C. Stephen Portnoy from ABC News. I don't know if you saw this online over the weekend, but the AI-generated Trump Pope meme apparently raising some eyebrows. We'll go in depth next on The Mark Arum Show.
Spring is in the air, and a lot of us are looking at things to spruce up our homes, from tweaking or landscaping, a little bit of paint. But how's your roof looking? This is Scott Slade. A new roof can dramatically improve the look of your home. Lots of uncertainties in the economy right now, so my roofer, FGA Roofing, has put together an offer you should consider. They call it the 000 plan. 0 down payment, 0 interest for 12 months, and 0 monthly payments for 12 months. With FGA Roofing, you can get a quote in just a few days and your roof installed in just a couple of weeks. And you can wait to pay until it fits your timeline. FGA Roofing specializes in slate, tile, wood shake, cedar roofs, as well as architectural roofs. The experts at FGA Roofing can lay out all the options for you, whether your roof is aging out or you just want a designer upgrade for your home, or both. FGA Roofing, where you'll get first-rate installation and quality service, always. Just search FGA Roofing to get started with a free quote today. That's FGA Roofing.
WSB Atlanta, WSBB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Your home deserves to shine inside and outside. That's why I trust Wise Guys Pro Wash to keep my home and deck and driveway looking their best. So just mention me, Chris Chandler, and get $70 off your next service. Don't wait. The appointment's booked quick. Go to wiseguysprowash.com.
At Mayo Clinic in Florida, we are conquering the unconquerable. Our experts are leading the way with innovative regenerative medicines and biotherapeutics that can repair diseased, injured, or defective tissues and organs to help treat people with chronic medical conditions. We're making more possible at Mayo Clinic because every day we're doing what's never been done. Learn more at mayoclinic.org/possible. Mayo Clinic, you know where to go.
Protect your turf from termites. Call Breda Pest Management. They handle bugs and critters. And Breda is proud to sponsor Scott Slade's Georgia every Thursday on Atlanta's Morning News.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
News, weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 10 o'clock, I'm Austin Eller. This news brought to you by TE Certified Electrical, Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Our top local story, the Atlanta City Council set to weigh in today on the Georgia State Patrol's pursuit policy after police chase through Little 5 Points that left an innocent driver dead. A new resolution calls for a variety of changes like restricting high-speed pursuits to cases involving violent felonies.
Their actions was not about the safety of the public. Was about a need for speed. It was about bravado. It was about flexing power at the cost of public safety.
Devin Barrington Ward with the National Police Accountability Project calls the chase unnecessary. The resolution also asks troopers to get approval from a supervisor before starting a chase. It is 59 degrees right now in Midtown Atlanta. Partly cloudy today, not too hot, highs in the low 70s. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up. A woman's found dead inside a Northwest Atlanta apartment, prompting an investigation by Atlanta Fire and Police.
One of our units was called for a reported fire alarm on the 200 block of Pine Street.
Atlanta Fire spokesman Andre Holmes says there wasn't a fire, but firefighters did ventilate the area for a haze that appears to have been caused by electrical. The medical examiner will examine a cause of death. Well, there could be an extension for the work requirement for those with Medicaid.
Georgia's applied to extend its Medicaid expansion program for the next 5 years to help cover people under the federal poverty level. But it still includes a requirement to report 80 hours of qualifying work and activities per month. The state's application follows years of litigation and notes it's failed to meet its enrollment requirements. So officials have suggested some changes to reporting, like expanding requirements to include family caregiving duties and exemptions for older adults. I'm Bloomberg's Monica Ricks for 95.5 WSB.
More than 10 international airlines once again suspend their flights to Tel Aviv, including Atlanta-based Delta. That's after a Houthi missile makes it through the Iron Dome.
Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu vowing to hit back at the Houthis and what he called their, quote, terror masters, Iran. That after a Houthi ballistic missile hit Israel's Ben Gurion International Airport Sunday.
Jordana Miller reports it crashed into a grassy area on the airport grounds. Thousands took shelter. Only 8 people were injured. Mother's Day is fast approaching. The Society of American Florists says get ready, though, to pay more for flowers for mom because of the tariffs. Sherry Moon with Buckhead Rights Florists says they're having a major impact there.
Last year's $100 arrangement is going to be roughly $115 to $125 this year.
She says shipping costs are up drastically, along with costs for vases, baskets, and more. An Atlanta-based nonprofit celebrates its 8th annual National Silence the Shame Day today.
It was September of 2015 that I heavily contemplated taking my own life.
Shanti Das says founding Silence the Shame was born of her own emotional pain and her healing after accepting professional help. Now the former music industry exec says she's answered her spiritual calling to destigmatize mental health treatment, and Das is witnessing the difference.
Whether it's a reply to a social media post or I run into someone in the airport and they say, my husband is alive because of the work that you're doing, or, because of programs that I've attended, I knew it was okay to go and get help.
Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
It's 10:03. The Mark Aram Show continues in less than 2 minutes. But first, we've got live team coverage of traffic and weather. Smiling Mark McKay is live in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
Morning, Austin. Crowding near the Cobb Cloverleaf where 285 meets I-75 Cobb County near Truist Park, and the Battery interloop delays caused in part by a crash that went to the shoulder in Sandy Springs. 285 eastbound at Riverside Drive exit 24. Still a bit difficult as you leave the Paces Ferry Road Cobb Parkway region trying to get through I-75, and the right lanes are crowded as you leave Sandy Springs rolling towards Smyrna. Right lanes especially heavy on 285 westbound leaving New Northside Powers Ferry to the I-75 interchange. Into downtown Atlanta, still a bit tight on the connector northbound leaving University Avenue, 75, 85, even 400 out of Buckhead. Still a bit slow as you point south toward Midtown and Atlantic Station 17th Street. Smiler Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Partly cloudy today, high 73, cool for tonight, lows in the upper 40s, low 50s. Tomorrow, a mix of sun and clouds, high 77. Rain showers return on Wednesday with highs in the upper 60s to low 70s.
Right now it's 59 degrees in Sandy Springs, 61 in College Park, and 59 in Midtown. More news at 10:30, breaking news when it happens. I'm Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
Welcome back to the show and a good Monday morning to you. Mark Arum here, you there. It's 10:05, 5 minutes after 10 o'clock. This is the Mark Arum Show, live Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to noon on 95.5 WSB. The family all with us today. Deborah is the executive producer. Longoria on Cinco de Mayo, still stoic on the other side of the takeout window. Vinny Drip screens your calls 13 minutes from now. Just 13 minutes from now, I'm going to give you a keyword in the 5K a day bonus blitz. Another chance for you to win $1,000 right here on 95.5 WSB, 1018, 1018, 1018. And then at 11:37, Deborah's got some new tickets to give away this week. Alice Cooper and Judas Priest. Wow. Thursday, September 18th at Ameris Bank Amphitheater. So not one, but two chances to win exciting prizes here on 95.5 WSB. All right, let's head up to the nation's capital. Joining us from ABC News, correspondent Stephen Portnoy. Stephen, good morning. I'm calling it the meme heard around the world. Over the weekend, the White House account posted an AI-generated meme of President Trump as the Pope. It's raised some eyebrows, some concerns. What are we hearing in D.C. this morning?
Well, look, he posted it on Friday night, and it shows him, obviously it's generated by artificial intelligence. He's on the papal throne wearing the papal vestments with the papal hat with his finger raised. And, look, this is something that the president did on his social media on Friday night that I don't want to put words in his mouth or try to, divine a motive for it, to use a phrase. But I think that ultimately the response has been sharp from senior members of the Catholic Church in the United States. The Archbishop of New York was asked about it, and he said, this is Timothy Dolan, Cardinal Timothy Dolan, quote, "I hope he didn't have anything to do with it. It wasn't good. As Italians say, it was brutta figura, embarrassing." The New York State Catholic Conference said there's nothing clever or funny about the image, Mr. President. And it said, "We just buried our beloved Pope Francis. The cardinals are about to enter a solemn conclave to elect a new successor to St. Peter. Do not mock us," says the Catholic Conference of New York State. Now, ultimately, what's the response from the White House? The press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, says that the president flew to Italy to pay his respects to the Pope and attend the funeral, that he's a staunch champion of Catholics and of religious liberty. And the vice president responded because he is a Catholic. And Bill Kristol, the conservative commentator, called him out on social media and said, "Are you fine with this?" And Kristol was responded to by J.D. Vance, who said, "As a general rule, I'm fine with people telling jokes and not fine with people starting stupid wars that kill thousands of my countrymen." That seems to be a response to Bill Kristol's support of the Iraq War more than 20 years ago.
Interesting. Now, I was under the meme was posted under the White House account, right? Not the President Trump's official account. Am I getting that correctly?
Well, I want to be absolutely certain. I believe it was on Truth Social, which would be the president's account.
Okay. So I was under the impression, at least on Twitter, I don't have a Truth Social. It was on the White House account. So I assumed that it was just a social media staffer that had this idea, and maybe the president knew nothing about it. But maybe that's not the case after all.
There's a lot about the operation of the Truth Social account and the White House official account that is not publicly understood. And, obviously, over the years, we've learned that sometimes the president himself taps out a post, used to be taps out a tweet. In other times, he dictates them. And in other respects, he hands it over to, whether it was Dan Scavino, who was responsible for the Twitter account, certainly in the first term.
Yeah.
Or there may be other aides who do it for him, who identify memes, retweet, repost, whatever you call it. But clearly, it's his account, and you'd imagine if there was something that was done that he didn't like, the got pushback, well, they would take it down. In this case, they've decided not to do that.
Interesting. Stephen Portnoy from ABC joining us on the Mark Arum Show. Is this a short-term story, or do you think this is something, Stephen, that's going to follow the president deeper into his second term?
Yeah, no, I don't think this one has legs. I think, look, ultimately, the story this morning is the fact that there was pushback. And there was pushback, particularly from the Catholics in Donald Trump's home state of New York, the Archbishop of New York, responding to it. That keeps it in the news. Whether it will be in the news for another cycle or more, I don't think so. Until or unless the president specifically asked about it himself and decides to weigh in.
Interesting. Stephen, as always, appreciate your time. Have a great day.
You bet.
So I saw the post on X, on Twitter, from the official White House account. I did not see it on Truth Social, but Stephen is right. It was also posted on President Trump's personal account on Truth Social. Deborah, correct me, I'm going to ask your opinion on this as a devout Catholic in a second, but just technologically, like, I couldn't have done that. And I'm a little more tech savvy, I think, than President Trump. Not much, but a little. But I couldn't have come up with the idea, let me do an AI generated meme of Mark Arum as the Pope, and then I wouldn't have the capability. I just assumed that this was, someone on the president's social media team that was like, oh, this is great. I just assumed that it didn't come from the president.
Yeah, I mean, I don't follow his accounts. There's too many social accounts to follow. But I see them reposted everywhere.
Sure.
And I know there was also a bunch of stuff happening for Star Wars Day too.
Yes.
So I just assume that is his digital team, much like we have a digital team here that kind of come up with ideas and run with it. I don't know how much, the president uses AI or anything like that, but I would assume too it was someone else and not him. And maybe he thought, oh yeah, why not? I'll share that. Okay. So, but I don't know either.
I would imagine a number of folks have access to the president's social media accounts here. Let me see. Was there all capital letters in the post? That usually is the. All right. So the White House, the May the 4th meme did not have all capital letters. So I'm assuming that's not him. I can't. Oh, here's the Truth Social post. He just posted it up there. Anyway, that was my assumption. I was like, when I saw the meme, I was like, it's a little soon. The Pope just died. The sacred conclave about to kick off. Probably a little too soon. I just assumed that a staffer made that error and not President Trump that came up with the idea and generated a meme of him as the Pope. I guess I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. But as a Catholic, Deborah, were you offended by this? What was your initial reaction?
I mean, I'm not going to use the word offended because I think people kind of use it too much.
Yeah.
And as somebody who loves to play around with AI
Yes.
and Photoshop and make silly images,
Yeah.
I don't know that I would go that far. Like, my religion is a thing for me. I try not to push it off on too many people, but it is a big deal for me. But I wouldn't want to offend anybody else. And I feel like doing that to another religion would be just as offensive. So also the Pope Francis was a little critical of Donald Trump. So
Sure.
it almost feels like he's kind of mocking him. Again, I don't know the president. I don't know what his mindset is and his staff or anything. But that's when I saw that was my reaction. I'm like, oh, Pope Francis didn't like a lot of the things that you did, and you showed up to the funeral, and now you're kind of like saying, hey, I could be Pope, and
Let me
it
throw
was not a good look.
Let me throw a hypothetical at you. Friday before the show, if I had said to you, Deborah, I got this great idea. Make an AI-generated meme of me as the Pope, and we'll use that as the show picture. Would you have pushed back on that and be like, I think it's a little too soon? Would you have filtered out that idea so it didn't make its way to social media?
Yeah, I probably would have said I personally wouldn't have been comfortable with it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have done that for any other religious, Buddhist,
Yeah.
Muslim, Taoist, whatever. I wouldn't have done it for another religion either.
Can you generate an AI meme of Longoria as a rabbi?
Now that maybe. No.
I would love to see. Yeah, I just thought, again, I can't envision a world where that was the president that came up with the idea, created the AI image, and then posted it. I think that he's got a team of people. And I'm as Stephen mentioned from ABC, Dan Scavino was like the social media guy. And it's like there are accounts, I think, on social media that try to guess whether the president actually posted the post on social media or not. They check like his, the use of all capital letters, capitalization of words that aren't usually capitalized. Like there's a whole algorithm to say, ooh, did the president post this himself or was that someone on his staff? I don't know. I know I grew up in a predominantly Catholic city in town in Connecticut, and oh man, my Catholic friends, Republicans, Independents, Democrats alike, they did not take kindly to that.
Yeah, it left a bad taste in my mouth. You know, like Deborah said, it wasn't offensive in a sense, but it was
just too
more,
soon.
It was kind of like that's bad taste. You know, really bad taste.
All right, so Deborah. All right, so at least I know I have the filter of Deborah Green, the voice. You know, if I come up with a wackadoo idea, Deborah's gonna be like, no.
Oh, AI's down.
Yeah. By the way, you did make a great AI picture for my buddy. Actually, it was on Friday, I think. My buddy Nick, who it was his birthday, and so Deborah made one of those AI-generated action figures. And I said, here's a picture of Nick, and you know you can put like little toys with him or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, he's a former New York City detective, so I'm like, give me a police badge. He's Cuban, so give me a Cuban flag. He's a Mets fan, so put a Mets hat. And then it came out perfectly, but the bottom toy was just the head of a dude.
It was so weird, and I didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah,
I
was like,
rushed around. I'm like, well, this is what you get.
So I posted it on his Facebook page for birthday. I was like, happy birthday, Nick, whatever. And then he's like, what's with the head in the bottom right corner? And he kind of looked like a mixture of two of our friends. Oh. So I was like, that's what AI thinks a love child of Johnny LaMonaco and Dose would look like. And he's like, oh, all right, that makes sense. But it was just so random that AI is like, here's the head of a dude. I guess they needed one more toy to fill out the action figure, and they're like...
You know, AI is still really learning. Even if it's super specific, it still just kind of throws things at you.
Yeah, but kudos. It started the show, by the way. That was not show-related, and Deborah did it anyway. So, belated star of the show for Deborah. The floating head of some random dude just sitting there. But anyway, it got great traction on social media. People loved the... is that thing over? What's the next social media trend? Now that we're getting past the...
Let's see, there was Make Yourself Into a Muppet. And
whoa,
really? That? Yeah. I think I sent Vinny his. I can't remember the other one. If there's a new one, I'll let you know.
All right. I like the Muppet one. Can you do me, you, Longoria, and Ken Charles, our boss?
You got to send me the photo you need of Ken. It always needs a reference photo.
All right. Do you need like a full-on... like a...
Just the one that you want me to use as a reference.
All right. But just a headshot, or I'm saying like a full body...
A full body, a three-quarter would be, full body, three-quarter would be.
All right, I want to see Ken as a Muppet for sure. And Longoria's a Muppet. Just nothing, I don't want the Pope as a Muppet. Don't do anything to offend. I don't want the Dalai Lama as a Muppet. I don't want any other world religious leaders as Muppets. Just the cast and crew of the Mark Arum Show. All right, let's do this. Let's give away 1,000 doll hairs right now, friends. It's the 5K a day bonus blitz. Your keyword for 10 a.m. is nice. N-I-C-E, nice. Enter the keyword nice into the WSB Radio app or at WSBradio.com/cash. You have until 10:30 a.m. to enter the keyword, win $1,000. The keyword is nice, N-I-C-E. And don't forget, if you get a call after 10:30 from a number you don't recognize, pick it up. Could be us telling you you won $1,000. 10 a.m. keyword is nice, N-I-C-E. Good luck. And good luck on the roads. Let's get the latest on the traffic backups from Smiler Mark McKay.
Hey, Mark. And through Kennesaw, had fire department tending to an injury crash right lane up until a couple of minutes ago, northbound I-75, just above Chastain Road, exit 271. So those delays adjacent to Kennesaw State University back to Barrett Parkway will start to improve. We are seeing improvement on the north side perimeter out of Sandy Springs. You'll still encounter the slow traffic on 285 westbound, leaving Riverside Drive to I-75. And the west side perimeter inner loop also improving, although it is slow. 285 north leaving South Cobb Drive, exit 15, up to the Battery in Truist Park. This report sponsored by Wendy's $5 Biggie Bag. The Wendy's $5 Biggie Bag is the best deal in fast food for a lot of reasons, some of which include a JBC, 4-piece nugs, junior fries, and a small soft drink. For the best deal of all time, gotta be Wendy's. U.S. price and participation may vary. Smiler Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
I'm Chris Chandler. When you join us Tuesday, starting at 5 a.m. for Atlanta's Morning News, breaking stories from overnights and the rain to return in our exclusive 5-day forecast will tell you when. What Clark Howard does to make sure he never misses an important email. Plus, Triple Team traffic reports to make sure you get to work or school on time. And remember, our 5K a day bonus blitz continues. Your chance to win $1,000. We'll get you ready for the day ahead on Atlanta's Morning News on WSB.
Hey, it's Belinda. You know, when I built my home 21 years ago, I made one of the best decisions ever. I called Arrow Exterminators, and because of them, I still don't have bugs. Right now, termites are swarming, mosquitoes are buzzing, and ants are biting. Yep, it's spring, and so there are pests. Don't let pests ruin your spring. Protect your home and yard with Arrow's proven pest control solutions. Arrow Exterminators uses the most effective and environmentally friendly solutions available. Plus, they offer a 100% customer satisfaction guarantee. It's that dedication to quality and care that's kept them family-owned for over 61 years. Get started today with a free home or business pest inspection. Just call 888-GO-ARROW or visit them online at arrowexterminators.com and tell them Belinda sent you. Trust me, you'll be glad you did.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter, or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights. We can reawaken any space to make your happy place your home. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
Rates are up, rates are down. Every day it's something different. If you're curious about what's going on and when the best time will be to buy or refinance your home, call the experts I trust at MyLend. This is Scott Slade. There's a reason the guys and gals at MyLend are able to close loans that other local banks just can't. The folks at MyLend are local and somebody you can trust to make sure you get the best loan for your needs at the best rate. You don't have to take my word for it. Here are lines from some recent testimonials. MyLend kept me up to date and informed with every step of the way. They make you feel like you're one of the most important clients they have. MyLend specializes in home financing, and they've seen it all. So whether you want to access the equity in your home to pay for other debts, buy a new home, or anything else, MyLend is the place to call. 770-817-2000. That's 770-817-2000. Or online, it's mylend.com. Spelled it M-I-L-E-N-D. NMLS and Georgia Mortgage License C148769. MyLend's located at 8995 Westside Parkway, Alpharetta, Georgia 30009. MyLend is an equal housing lender.
As the old saying goes, size matters.
At Morgan & Morgan, we have over 1,000 lawyers and nearly 6,000 people on staff.
But at the core, this is and always has been a family business.
Our family watching out for your family.
Call us or email us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even on a Saturday or a Sunday.
And if you ever have a problem, call our mom.
Morgan & Morgan.
For the people and your family.
Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
You still want a new deck on your house, but you think you may have missed a deck building window? Well, you're wrong. Dave Baker here for Ben Hill Renovations, my deck experts. What makes them my experts? Well, for starters, when you have Ben Hill Renovations upgrading your outdoor living space, you're dealing with professionals. You have a company building to code, current and future. You have a company pulling permits when needed, with a dedicated project manager for every job, superior craftsmanship from over 60-plus years of experience, and all backed by their workmanship warranty. Whether you want a screened-in porch, an outdoor living area, a multi-story wraparound deck, or just a simple deck with a set of stairs, Ben Hill Renovations has you covered. Plus, they offer multiple financing options, up to 18 months, no interest with affordable monthly payments. Check out their new website at bhrenovations.com and set up an appointment, or visit their showroom and speak with a designer. You won't be disappointed. Ben Hill Renovations, creating raving fans since 1964.
This is Scott Slade. Nothing takes the place of time when it comes to spotting problems with your health, especially cancer. The earlier, the better. Like me. My doctor saw one lab work number that led to a diagnosis early enough, so I still had options. Now, that's where virtual imaging comes in. They've got the best CT imaging in the Southeast with 98% accuracy and low radiation. Virtual imaging's LD CT whole body scan can be invaluable, giving you time and options for early treatment. They can detect tumors as early as precancerous virtually anywhere in your body, and aneurysms you may not even know are there. For a limited time, Virtual Imaging is offering their LDCT body scan for only $995 per scan. That's a $2,495 value. Now, appointments must be scheduled in May. There are a limited number of scans available at this price, so a few minimum requirements may apply. Don't put this off. I've done it. Call 404-678-SCAN. That's 404-678-SCAN. Or make an appointment by visiting their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
Rolling in the deep on the Cinco de Mayo. Happy 37th birthday to Adele. 37 years old. Deborah, Adele, future rock and roll Hall of Famer. Is she big enough yet?
Oh, yeah. Well, it's going to be a couple more years. It's still a little early in her career. But yeah, she'll be in.
But like legendary pipes on Adele, right? Like
oh, yeah.
phenomenal
For
stuff.
sure.
All right. Anyway, happy 37th birthday to Adele. Did she do it? She lost weight before Ozempic and all that stuff came out, right?
She did, yeah.
Yeah,
unless she was an early adopter.
She did it the old-fashioned way. She earned it. All right, so this is something we talked about a couple weeks ago. President Trump selling gear that says Trump 2028, possibly hinting at a third term. He kind of backed off that this weekend. CNN data analyst Harry Enton about what people think about Trump running for a third term.
Yeah, I think there's a reason why Donald Trump is backtracking or saying, no, I won't actually do this, because this idea is about as popular as New Coke was back in the mid-1980s. I mean, should Trump run for a third term? 76% of Americans say no, 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 compared to just 21% who say yes, including only 16% of independents. This is one of the least popular ideas I have ever seen. And when you get 3/4 of the American people agreeing on anything and it's in the no, you know it's 999. This is one of the most unpopular ideas I have seen in polling in a long period of time.
There's CNN data analyst Harry Enton. So even Republicans are like, nah, don't do the third term. And he kind of backed off it. But they're still selling merch. Still selling those Trump 2028 hats. Listen, get while the getting's good. Strike while the iron's hot. The iron's still hot for another 4 minutes. You have 4 minutes to enter the 5K Day Bonus Blitz keyword. It's NICE, N-I-C-E, NICE. Enter the keyword NICE into the WSB Radio app or at WSBRadio.com/cash. Again, you have just until 10:30 a.m. to enter the keyword. Chance to win $1,000. The keyword is NICE, N-I-C-E. And don't forget, if you get a call after 10:30 from a number you don't recognize, answer it. Could be us telling you won $1,000. And we've had 2 people that didn't answer the phone. They lost $1,000. We had to call the next person. So pick up the phone. I know it's not a scam call. It's Vinny Drip telling you won $1,000. Keyword's NICE, N-I-C-E. All right, President Trump is threatening tariffs against foreign movies. How will that work? What will it look like and the impact it could have on Hollywood? In-depth coverage continues next on The Mark Arum Show.
Smash burgers are all the rage these days. I love to make them too. I got one of those Weber griddles, and you could just make them, and gosh, they're crispy, they're thin. Stack 2 of them together, put cheese between both of them. Your family loves them. Omaha Steaks right now is going to give you 16 free smash burgers with their Built for the Grill pack. You go to omahasteaks.com/smash, S-M-A-S-H. You can make them in a skillet, you can make them on the grill, you can make them on the griddle if you got a griddle, and they turn out perfect however you do them. They're flavorful, they're beefy, they are 100% premium aged Omaha Steaks beef for exceptional quality and flavor from America's butcher. Get ready to smash expectations with the new Omaha Steak burgers. Go to omahasteaks.com/smash. Order the Built for the Grill pack. You'll get 16 free smash burgers. That's 16 free smash burgers at omahasteaks.com/smash. See site for details. Y'all, these are amazing.
Hi, this is Candace from Exovations, and have I got a tip for you. Don't just take my word for it. For over 20 years, you've heard me on the radio sharing remodeling advice. But if you really want to know what sets Exovations apart, go read our reviews. You'll see words like amazing work, incredible experience from start to finish, and again, stress-free. But don't just listen to me. Listen to our reviews. Google Exovations or visit EXOVATIONS.com.
It's Jeff Jr. from Trajan Wealth, and I've got something important to talk to you about, your 401k. If you have changed jobs, there are 2 very important considerations. You don't want to leave your 401k behind, and you don't want to roll it over into your new company plan without consulting Trajan Wealth first. 401ks will often have limited investments or age-based options. Since companies have to make choices to suit all employees, they may not be suited to you, which could cost you fees and money. When you roll over your 401k into an IRA, you not only keep your money growing tax deferred, but you also gain access to a world of investment options specifically designed for you. Trajan Wealth and our fiduciary advisors have helped thousands, and we can do the same for you. Call 404-390-4000. That's 404-390-4000.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor.
Scott Slade here from iRoofer, FGA Roofing. Are you considering a new roof but not sure when you're going to be able to get it into the budget? FGA Roofing is offering a 000 offer this month. 0 down payment, 0 interest for 12 months, and 0 monthly payments. Search FGA Roofing for a free quote today.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather, traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 10:30, I'm Austin Eller. This news brought to you by Metro Atlanta Amco dealers. Our top local story, the Coweta County School District's feeling the impact of a weekend cyber attack.
School officials identified the security breach around 7 o'clock Friday evening and immediately took the system offline and began protocols to identify risk exposure and the source of the attack. The district is in touch with GMA and Homeland Security, and they're working with local, state, and federal security partners to resolve the issue. Because of the breach, all desktop computers are off limits for the time being, but student Chromebooks, Wi-Fi, and district cell phones do not appear to be affected. They also say the breach will not affect AP placement or milestone testing, which is set for the next 2 days. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
A Democratic state senator launches his campaign for lieutenant governor. Senator Josh McLaurin's the first Democrat to announce his plans to run for the seat next year. He represents Savannah under the Gold Dome. Current Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones has yet to announce his plans, but it is believed he could be considering a run for governor. Jury selection getting underway today in New York City for the sex trafficking case against Sean Diddy Combs. Legal analyst Eric Rudick says there's a lot that'll be under consideration.
The prosecution in this case are going to be looking at attitudes or experiences towards government and prosecutors. If they believe that, prosecutors unfairly target individuals, particularly minorities.
Meanwhile, he says he expects the defense to look at individual sexual preferences and feelings about hip-hop music. Combs recently rejected a last-minute offer to enter a guilty plea. Health experts are working to bring more awareness to adults under 45 having strokes.
May is Stroke Awareness Month, and Dr. Clinton Wright with the National Institute of Neurological Disorders and Strokes wants to be sure adults of all ages know what the symptoms are.
Hypertension, diabetes, high cholesterol, smoking, obesity.
Wright says strokes affect over 800,000 people each year and remains the leading cause of death and long-term disability. Plus, young adults now make up 10 to 15% of all stroke cases. Daphne Young, 95.5 WSB.
Well, this is new this morning. Footwear giant Skechers says it's being acquired by private equity firm 3G Capital. The firm's paying $63 per share. That's a 30% premium on the company's current valuation. This is all after the company withdrew its full-year guidance, citing uncertainty as a result of tariffs. The historic McAfee House in Marietta is moving to a new site in Ball Ground.
Threatened by development, the McAfee House was given to Cobb Landmarks, which reviewed over 40 applications before selling the house for $1 to Brittany and Lee Lusk, who knew the house.
We kind of drive by and say, what a shame. Hopefully they save it one day.
Now the Lusk will save and restore the house.
I just want to bring it back to life, how it was originally done.
The house will be moved in 6 to 8 pieces sometime in May.
It will be moved over, I think, several days is what it's going to take.
Lisa Nicholas, 95.5 WSB.
Millions of consumers spending money on Cinco de Mayo today. Market research says about 17% of U.S. consumers will spend at least $25 on supplies today, with some spending up to $100. Now, that research does show most of the holiday spending will be for food and alcohol. It is 10:33. Live team coverage now of traffic and weather. Smiling Mark McKay is live in the 24-hour traffic center.
Little crowding into Midtown, downtown Atlanta, Austin, especially leaving Buckhead 400 as you leave Sidney Marcus Boulevard. A few brake lights trying to get through the I-85 400 interchange. Once you get on the connector, let's call it sluggish past 17th Street Atlantic Station. Northbound delays only now as you make the transition off the West Freeway. I-20 eastbound ramping to 75-85 northbound. Work underway in the work zone into Cobb County. No major hassles, though, east or westbound between I-85 and I-285 in the Mall of Stonecrest, where the West Freeway has right lane delays passing Fulton Industrial Boulevard, exit 49 into the I-285 interchange. Smiley Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Blue skies, sunshine, and a few clouds today. High 73, lows tonight in the upper 40s, low 50s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, high 77. Rain showers return on Wednesday.
Right now it's 61 degrees in Decatur, also 61 in Vinings, and 62 in Midtown. More news at 11 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
When the news matters to you.
The FAA says the flight crew was reporting possible smoke in the flight deck.
95.5 WSB has you covered.
Beef prices are going up.
Your 24/7 news source.
They had no ties to a gang, but they were killed by them.
When you need the story, all you need to do is listen. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's breaking news station.
Other nations, a lot of them, have stolen our movie industry. And I'm saying, if they're not...
That's President Trump over the weekend proposing a 10% tariff on foreign movies. What the impact to Hollywood could be next on the Mark Arum Show.
Playing a game with your family? Fun! Playing a game with your roof? You'll lose every time. Dave Baker here with the perfect match for your roof. Finley Roofing, the roof guys. They're the extra effort experts with upfront pricing, exceptional service, and they'll treat your home like it's their own. Win, win, win. And with Finley, manners matter. Finley also has 0% financing available. Get your free roof analysis at finleyroofing.com. Roof.
Hope. It's more than a word. It's a breakthrough in the making. At City of Hope, we're pushing the boundaries of science, targeting cancer at the molecular level, with teams of experts working together to personalize a treatment plan right down to your DNA with unprecedented speed, making every second count, with appointments in as little as 24 hours. City of Hope, advancing cancer care at life-saving speed. Learn more at cityofhope.org.
A company that you trust. Who comes to mind? Ragsdale has been a part of our home for years. They've been my go-to for a new HVAC system, blown-in insulation, and electrical work that makes life more simple. They're on time and work with my busy schedule. Right now, get up to $1,700 off a brand new Carrier home comfort system and enjoy Ragsdale's own trusted 15-year parts and labor warranty. Learn why they have a 4.9 Google rating. Start at ragsdaleair.com. Ragsdale, the name I know you can trust.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for mouth-watering meals and appetizing ingredients. Our low prices add up to big savings, plus over $600 in digital coupons each week, and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. At Kroger, you always get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Right now, you can save on large avocados or delicious mangoes. They're just $1.49 each with your digital coupon. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
At Butler Lexus of South Atlanta, buying a car is more than a transaction. It's a 5-star experience because they value you. Enjoy personalized offers and luxury perks, all designed with you in mind. Visit ButlerLexusSouthAtlanta.com or call 800-NEW-LEXUS today. Butler Lexus South Atlanta, the standard of amazing.
10:37 on a gorgeous Monday. I love the nice cool temperatures. Let's squeeze in a couple of these before summer really hits us full blast. 10:37 on the Mark Arum Show. Our cup runneth over, Deborah. So I'm always hungry, and Longoria and Vinny were hungry as well. So I went ahead and ordered us some breakfast bagels on Uber Eats. And first of all, I've ordered Uber Eats 1,000 times. First time ever that it was delivered by a guy on a bike.
Wow.
It was a bike. I mean, because I guess it was local in Midtown, so he delivered. So right after I order it, Austin Eller buzzes in from the newsroom. He's like, "Hey, Botica brought us food for Cinco de Mayo again," and I'm like, "You got to be kidding me! Our cup has runneth over on this Cinco de Mayo." So I'm going to eat the Botica tacos, delicious, and then I'll save the breakfast bagel sandwich for lunch. But truly blessed here on this Cinco de Mayo. I'm not ruling out Taco Bell after the show either. I might as well go full bore. All right, I want to update this story. President Trump basically saying that he wants to tariff foreign movies, 100% tariff on movies produced overseas, including those made by Americans. CBS's Michael Toscano reports that would be a challenge to regulate.
Other nations, a lot of them, have stolen our movie industry.
He blames other nations' tax incentives for drawing production away from U.S. locations. U.S. films are often shot and produced in multiple countries for business reasons or location authenticity. America's top-grossing film so far this year,
This beautiful world and everything in it will wither and die.
a Minecraft movie made in New Zealand and Canada and partly produced by Warner Brothers, took in almost $400 million here. American films often make their biggest slice of profits in overseas markets, making them vulnerable to a tariff trade war. Michael Toscano, CBS News, Washington.
Now, the president is correct that the Hollywood movie industry is suffering. But it's not because of foreign movies. It's because of jackwagons like me that don't go to the movies anymore. Like the Gladiator 2. Like in a 10 years ago, that movie came out, I would have been at the Atlantic Station Theater or wherever, Terra Theater, wherever. I would have said, oh, I got to go see this movie. But, Deborah, it was released on demand like the same day.
Yeah.
So I could watch the movie at home. That's why the movie industry is struggling. It's not because of foreign movies. It's because it's the movie industry has changed now. Streaming has absolutely changed the movie industry. I mean, only like superhero movies or I guess Minecraft movie, whatever the heck that is. Like those are the only box office draws now. You want a romantic comedy? No one's like, oh, I got to see Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan on the big screen in this. You're like, oh, I'll watch it on my couch and pause it when I have to go to the, So, yes, the movie industry is suffering, but it's not because of foreign films. So I was trying to think of if this tariff goes through. I don't even know how you'd enforce it, by the way. Like, if we go to the Regal Cinemas, is that $15 ticket now $30? Like, how do you tariff something like that? I don't know how it would work. I'll, leave it to President Trump to flush out the ideas. But if this was around 30 years ago, if Ronald Reagan was like, Hollywood's getting crushed by foreign movies, we've got to put a tariff on it. Think of the movies that we might not have seen. Foreign movies. Like I mentioned Gladiator 2, like Gladiator 1, right? That wasn't filmed in the United States. That was one of the greatest movies of all time. Braveheart. What if Mel Gibson, when he's making Braveheart, Deborah, was like, oh, there's 100% tariff if I film this in Scotland? All right, never mind. I'm going to do it in West Virginia. Right? That movie wouldn't have happened. We'd live in a world without Braveheart. Do you know what I watched last night, Deborah?
What?
Apocalypto.
I watched that not too long ago, too.
So I watched this. So Apocalypto is another Mel Gibson movie. Dude just makes great movies. And this one was about a tribe in the Amazon. 1,000 years ago. And it was like, I'm sure it was filmed in the Amazon. It wasn't filmed in the redwood forests of California or in the North Georgia mountains. Like this was in South America and a phenomenal movie. And I was reminded of the movie because there was, I saw this thing on social media about, they think there's like 100 undiscovered tribes still in the Amazon, primitive tribes. Anyways, crazy. So I was like, oh, I got to watch Apocalypto again. Great movie. If there were 100% tariffs on the movie, you think Mel Gibson's gonna be like, well, I can film it in the Berkshire Mountains in Massachusetts or not make the movie. I don't think it would have been the same. All the natives he cast in it. Mm-hmm. Lord of the Rings, the trilogy there. It was New Zealand, right? Those are all New Zealand. Those, if there were tariffs, 100% tariff on that, was it Peter Jackson? That was already like $1 billion budget. You think Lord of the Rings might have happened? Harry Potter? I'm assuming those were filmed in Great Britain. Not in Memphis, Tennessee? Would the Harry Potter trilogy, or not even trilogy, there's like 12 of them. Will those movies have been made if there's a tariff? But I always defer to the greatest movie star of all time. Who is Longoria? Who's the greatest movie star of all time?
Harrison Ford.
You got that right, buddy. Harrison Ford. Can you imagine if there were tariffs around in the mid-'80s, early 80s? Raiders of the Lost Ark, filmed in the Mideast because it was Raiders of the Lost Ark. Imagine if there were tariffs there and Steven Spielberg, George Lucas, the combo there. Where are you going to make that movie? In Utah? So I listen. Hollywood's struggling, but it's not because of foreign movies. Sometimes you need those foreign locations. This would be a lesser world if there was no Raiders of the Lost Ark. Such a fabulous movie. And then all the sequels they're all filmed outside the United States, made by Hollywood. I mean, Steven Spielberg, George Lucas, those are American-made films, just filmed overseas. What's the most British character of all time, Deborah? Movie character of all time?
The most British character?
Yes. Like,
I mean, I just watched Sherlock yesterday, so I'm gonna
Sherlock
say
Holmes. All right, who else?
Bond.
Right, Bond, James Bond. Can you imagine if no more Bond films are filmed overseas in Europe? They all take place in Europe, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, no, there's some other places.
But not in America. They're not.
No, but like Asia,
yeah,
and South of
So how do you Americanize James Bond? You call him Jimmy Bond?
That's terrible.
Hey, I'm Jimmy Bond from Arkansas. I'm a spy. We could lose that. I understand, and it's also surprising to me that President Trump's not a big fan of Hollywood, right? The Hollywood elite, the Clooneys of the world, the who are some of the outspoken Hollywood bigwigs that are kind of anti-Trump. All of a sudden, he wants to save them now, which I find interesting. I don't know how the tariffs are going to work, but if there were tariffs around 30 years ago, I'm not seeing Raiders of the Lost Ark, one of the greatest movies of all time. Gladiator, Braveheart, Apocalypto, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Titanic. Was Titanic filmed here?
It's on a soundstage.
Yeah, that's right. But they had to do something in the Atlantic, right? The North Atlantic. Some of the scenes. What are some foreign? Oh, this here's one that came. I totally forgot about. One of my favorite movies as a child. This was definitely filmed.
Sandlot?
Not the freaking Sandlot. Dang it, Longoria. How about this? Could this have been filmed in America?
Jim, Jiminy, Jim, Jiminy, Jim, Jim, Cheree. A sweep is as lucky.
Now that's American superstar Dick Van Dyke playing a British chimney sweep. Chim, chimney, chim, chim. I guess they could have filmed it in Boston, give him a Boston accent maybe. I don't know. I'm all for doing what you can, especially here in Georgia, where the film industry and the TV industry is such a big deal. But I don't know how. There's a trade imbalance too. Like the United States, we supply a majority of the movies and television shows around the world. We export our junk way more than we import foreign stuff. Now, granted, BritBox and there's some great foreign. When is Slow Horses coming back, Deborah? We need that back.
Not for another couple months. Yeah,
right.
A couple months on that.
So, but listen, that we have a trade imbalance with other nations when it comes to television and movies. We produce way more than we import. So I understand the heart's in the right place, but I'm just worried that if there's a 100% tariff on foreign movies, that what's Sanjay's favorite movie? The soccer movie, Bend It Like Beckham. What if there was no Bend It Like Beckham? Because of tariffs. Just think about
a British movie.
Well, it's filmed in England, but again, it was an American studio. I don't know. That's what I understand. Like American studios will film movies in foreign locales, but they still earn the money. The money, it's still American actors and directors and prop folk. I don't know.
Mark, as you've traveled to other countries, particularly Europe, don't you hear, like one thing I've always heard, I love American TV, I love American music. It's one of the big draws for foreign countries to the United States. Like they love American entertainment.
They so much so that everybody loves Raymond, which is like a worldwide hit because we produce the best. There's a big trade imbalance there. So I don't think it's going to come to fruition. Again, I think President Trump, like me, has these ideas at 2 a.m. He's like, at 2 a.m. that sound great. And then I wake up at 7 and I'm like, it probably wasn't a great idea. Anyway, if the movie tariffs come into effect, we will update you on that. Let's check traffic. Yeah, I'm a little late getting a smile on Mark McKay. Where are the hot spots now, Squeezy?
How about downtown, Midtown? Mark, a little sluggish on the connector southbound, leaving 17th Street, crowded in near Atlantic Station. Then you start to ease up past Georgia Tech. Okay around I-20, northbound 75-85. Just tapping the brakes now through the city. Got the work zones active, including I-20 rolling into and out of DeKalb County between Wesley Chapel, Panola, and I-285. Westbound delays approaching exit 68 Wesley Chapel Road. West side perimeter slow into the the I-20 interchange, and I-20 eastbound is slowing past Six Flags trying to get to 285. Spotlight Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
On air,
Online,
on the app,
where you get your news,
is where you'll win.
Download the WSB radio app now and maybe win $1,000.
That is awesome.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
5 words, 5 times a day, every
This
weekday.
is Jill from Roswell, and I just won $1,000.
Just enter the word at WSBradio.com or on the WSB radio app.
Your next chance to win is coming up at 12
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
on 95.5 WSB.
This is Window Nation, your source for affordable replacement windows at the highest quality. So if your old windows have you boiling in the summer and freezing in the winter, you need the pros at Window Nation with installation precision and experience that are second to none. Their custom windows are guaranteed to be a perfect fit, and they're backed by the best warranty in the industry. Go to getwindownation.com for your free estimate. And for a limited time, buy 4 windows, get 4 free, plus no interest for 2 years.
Preparing to sell your home can be costly and time-consuming. Skip the hassles of a traditional home sale and sell your home stress-free with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. Hi, it's Chris Chandler. Say goodbye to the stress that comes with showings, open houses, and costly home repairs. My friends at Mark Spain Real Estate will sell your home fast and for maximum value. With over 12,500 5-star reviews, trust the top real estate team in the U.S. to sell your home for top dollar. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today and start packing.
Post Malone presents the Big Ass Stadium Tour. 9-time Diamond certified and 16-time Grammy Award nominated phenomenon, Post Malone. His biggest headline tour this Sunday at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Global superstar Post Malone with Jelly Roll and special guest Sierra Farrell. Get tickets now at livenation.com.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell, and for over a decade, I've trusted America's best choice for windows, doors, siding, and decks.
Spring is the perfect time to update your home, and America's Best Choice makes it easy with these spring specials. Highest quality, energy-efficient windows starting at just $299. Take 10% off a new deck and create the outdoor oasis of your dreams. No pressure, no gimmicks. Visit abcwin.com today to schedule your free consultation.
Attention seniors, do you want more personalized healthcare with more one-on-one time with your doctor? Then join us at the grand opening of CenterWell Swanee. CenterWell offers senior-focused primary care that's centered on you. Celebrate with us on Wednesday, May 14th, near the Walmart off Interstate 85 here in Swanee, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Enjoy food, music, and more at this free community event. Plus, tour the new doctor's office and meet the care team. For details, visit cometocenterwellgeorgia.com. That's cometocenterwellgeorgia.com.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
Mom deserves way more than flowers. This Mother's Day, give her something no one else can. Jewelry that you built yourself at D. Geller & Son. It's simple. Pick a beautiful ring, bracelet, or necklace from our Mother's Day collection, and then pick the birthstones that represent your family. Our master jewelers will set the stones you chose in the piece you picked, making it one of a kind, just like Mom. Prices start at just $3.95. Come build your own Mother's Day jewelry only at D. Geller & Son in Kennesaw, Sandy Springs, and online at dgeller.com.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
Let's see, if something costs less, a lot less, but people are actually happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's MediShare.
Maybe you've heard joining MediShare can save you or your family up to $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true. People are just happier with it. They love being part of something that reflects and promotes their values and what they believe in. MediShare works, too. It's been around for 30 years now, and members have shared more than $7 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network, so yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care, whether you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan that you're happy with. Here you go. You can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. It's 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
Secretariat moving away. He has it by 2.5. Jam. Then on the outside, our native. That's the wire it's going to be Secretariat. He wins it by 2 lengths.
52 years ago today, as heard on WSB Radio, Secretariat won the Kentucky Derby, the first of its Triple Crown victories. The Derby held over this weekend. I saw this stat, Deborah, that every horse that raced in this year's Kentucky Derby is a descendant of Secretariat.
Oh, I saw that too. Yeah.
That's insane. Like, Secretariat is so far and away the best horse ever when it comes to racing. I'm not going to judge if you have a horse growing up as a kid. That might have been the best horse for you. But as far as horse racing go, Secretariat's DNA was in every one of the Derby participants. That's crazy to me. By the way, so I missed the Derby. I was at the Braves game. Who won the Kentucky Derby? Do we know?
The winner was named Serenity, right? Serenity
Now?
Serenity, and then Journalism, I believe, was second place. I think, wasn't Journalism favored?
I think Journalism was favored. I used to pick I didn't bet on this one, but I picked the funniest or craziest names.
Oh,
I might have bet on Serenity, though, if I saw that, because of Serenity Now. Frank Costanza, Serenity Now. What were some of the? Do you have the rest of the horse names?
Well, the one that I was looking, I don't bet because I just don't, but there is a horse named Sandman, and so it was like associated with Metallica.
Sandman.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'll look for that one. I'll look for that one.
Night, right? Yeah. Any other funky horse names?
Where is it? Like third place was Beza, like Jeff Bezos, but Beza. I don't know.
All right. Pyomai.
Let's see. Final Gambit, Owen Almighty, Chunk of Gold. Citizen Bull. Nothing
Those
really
are kind of
cute.
weak names.
Yeah.
Could we get a horse race named after Longoria? Not a race,
That'd
but
probably be the
an
best.
actual horse. Yeah.
Easier than a rhino.
Yeah.
Longoria is a 3-year-old filly. She seems like Longoria's a mutter. His mother was a mutter. His father was a mutter. All right. So what was the name of the horse that won? Serenity. All right. Congrats to Serenity. I know nothing about. I've been to a couple of. My grandfather used to take me to the track in Long Island. It was fun. You take me down. You see the horses. It was a great time. But I don't know. How do you know who's going to win? Like, how do they determine who's the favorite? I would just always bet on the long shots. Like, give me the 3-legged horse that's 3,000 to 1, Grandpa. You'd be like, all right, Aram. I'll give you this.
He called you Aram?
Yeah, exactly. All right, Aram. We'll give it to you this time. Anyway, congrats to all associated. But I thought that was fascinating that every horse is somehow related to Secretariat in the Kentucky Derby. All right, news, weather, and traffic in 3 minutes. When we come back, they're calling it Mick Recession. Mick Recession. Correspondent Rory O'Neill. Just the fast food industry, despite my best efforts, absolutely getting hammered when it comes to corporate earnings. We'll find out what Mick Recession actually is and what they're doing to stave it off. Coming up at 10:35, we're going up to New York City. The United Nations correspondent Pamela Falk is going to join us live talking about Mike Walls' what we think will be his new position as U.S. Ambassador to the UN. Social media is active throughout the broadcast, at Mark Arum and at WSB Radio.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Is your old AC unit ready for another sweltering Atlanta summer? Probably not. Hey, good news. Mark Aaron back from my friends at Reliable. Great new deal going on right now, guys. Any size AC, just $69.99 a month, 0 down, low monthly payments, and next day installation guaranteed, or they pay you $500. Any AC, just $69.99 a month. Book an appointment for a convenient time right on their website at reliableair.com and click on the schedule service button or call or text 770-594-9969.
Listen up, because women have long waited for the world to recognize the importance of our health.
Northside Hospital goes beyond "we hear you" to "we're out here with you," because women deserve more than open ears.
They deserve open doors, and 1 ounce of action is worth 1,000 words.
Northside is rolling up our sleeves and getting to work for you.
This is a house call. Heard. Learn more at northside.com/heard.
Hi, this is Candace from Exovations, and have I got a tip for you. But today, instead of giving you a home remodeling tip, my tip is don't just take my word for it. For over 20 years, you've heard me on the radio sharing remodeling advice. But if you really want to know what sets Exovations apart, go read our reviews. At exovations.com, you'll find hundreds of real stories from real homeowners who have trusted us with their exterior remodeling projects. From decks, siding, windows, doors, paint, roofing, porticos, and so much more. You'll see words like amazing work, incredible experience from start to finish, and again, stress-free. That's not just what we say, it's what our customers say. So yes, I'm Candace from Exovations, but don't just listen to me. Listen to our reviews. At Exovations, we do projects on time, on budget, and without all that stress. Google Exovations or visit EXOVATIONS.com.
News, weather,
Traffic. 95.5 WSB. Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 11 o'clock, I'm Austin Eller. This news brought to you by the Next Generation Xfinity 10G network. Our top local story, a suspect now behind bars after a fight at a bar in Dunwoody ends with a man being hit by a car. Dunwoody Police Sergeant Michael Cheeks says Sheldon Myers is charged with hit and run and aggravated battery for the incident injuring Terry Crosby at the Bird on Ashford Dunwoody Road.
When Mr. Crosby was walking outside, we now know that Mr. Myers intentionally struck him with a vehicle in the parking lot shortly after that fight.
The two initially started fighting inside the bar when Myers allegedly approached Crosby's girlfriend and touched her. Crosby is still being treated at Grady Memorial Hospital. He is, though, in stable condition. It is 63 degrees right now in Midtown Atlanta. A little cloudy today, but we still got a decent day ahead of us. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up. A woman is found dead in an apartment in northwest Atlanta, and police are now trying to figure out just how she died. They were called to the scene over a fire alarm on Pine Street.
This seems to be something electrical in nature. Our fire units did ventilate the area, and that was the extent of our firefighting operation.
Atlanta Fire spokesman Andre Holmes says there was no actual fire, and he also says the medical examiner will determine the woman's exact cause of death. A resolution goes before the Atlanta City Council this afternoon as they seek changes in the State Patrol's pursuit policy. It comes after a police chase through Little Five Points that left an innocent driver dead, and it calls for a variety of changes like restricting high-speed pursuits to cases involving violent felonies. It also asks troopers to get approval from a supervisor before even starting a chase, along with restrictions on when pit maneuvers can be made in densely populated areas. That meeting is at 1 o'clock this afternoon. Atlanta-based Delta Airlines, among several other international carriers, once again suspending flights to Tel Aviv. It comes after a Houthi missile makes it through Israel's defense system, crashing into the grounds of Ben Gurion International Airport.
The missile evading Israel's multi-layered air defense systems, crashing down in a grassy area not far from a crowded Terminal 3.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has vowed to hit back at the Houthis. 8 people were lightly injured, although thousands sheltered at that time. The Department of Education is set to start collecting debts on defaulted student loans starting today for the first time in more than 5 years.
About 5 million borrowers, including many here in Georgia, face these mandatory collections. Bankrate consumer lending analyst Andrew Pentis warns a student loan default will stay on your credit report for up to 7 years.
It can impact and drag down your credit score for that long of a period, which means that if you want to apply for, say, a personal loan or a mortgage, this late student loan payment would make it harder to qualify
qualify.
More serious consequences include wage garnishment as well as offsetting federal payments like your tax refund. Cheryl Castro, 95.5 WSB.
Well, Mother's Day is fast approaching, and this year you should get ready to pay more for those flowers.
The Society of American Florists says tariffs are hurting the floral industry. Sherry Moon is owner of Buckhead Wrights Florist, and she says she's seen prices spike.
Like my roses come in from Ecuador, and I can say that they've almost doubled.
And the prices of things like floral foam and vases also going up, not to mention the shipping cost.
We used to wire out to another shop a $45 arrangement, and now their minimums have gone up to $55 or $65 to get the same thing.
That means flowers will cost you more this year. Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
It's 11:03. The Mark Aram Show continues in less than 2 minutes. But first, live team coverage of traffic and weather. Alex Williams is live in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
Hey, good Monday morning, Austin. Right now, watching a tap of the brakes downtown, 75-85 southbound. A few brake lights from 17th Street as you make that commute down toward North Avenue. Out in DeKalb County, you got that right lane construction, 20 eastbound between Wesley Chapel Road and Panola Road. And seeing brake lights 316 eastbound into Lawrenceville due to right lane construction. Trying to make your way past Riverside Drive. You slow back around Sugarloaf Parkway. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Partly cloudy today, high 73, cool for tonight, lows in the upper 40s, low 50s. Tomorrow, a mix of sun and clouds, high 77. Rain showers return on Wednesday with highs in the upper 60s to low 70s.
Right now, it's 62 degrees in Stockbridge, also 62 in Alpharetta, and 63 degrees in Midtown Atlanta. More news at 11:30, breaking news when it happens. I'm Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
No, I want this town to be near you.
11:05 on this Cinco de Mayo edition of the Mark Aram Show. Welcome back, friends. Coming up in 30 minutes, we're going to go live to the United Nations. Correspondent Pamela Falk maps out what Mike Walls' new profession will be and what it will look like there in the halls of the United Nations. And then Deborah's going to give away tickets to Alice Cooper and Judas Priest Thursday, September 18th at Ameris Bank Amphitheater. And then right after the new news, don't go anywhere after the show, I'm going to give you a keyword and another chance for you to win $1,000 in the 5K day bonus split. So a couple of chances for you to win some really cool prizes in the next hour or so. In just a second, we're going to go up to D.C. Apparently, President Trump was just briefing reporters. I'm going to try to nail down that audio and bring it to you. But first, joining us on the show, it's our good friend, correspondent Rory O'Neill. Rory, good morning, buddy. Food prices rising, people getting skeptical about the economy. Those two factors slamming the fast food industry. Rory, they're calling it McRecession. And what the big chains are doing in response to these falling numbers. What can you tell us about McRecession?
Well, we saw that McDonald's reported their first quarter earnings last week, and it found a 3.6% drop-off in same-store sales in the first quarter. Starbucks also said its sales were down 1%. And this little factoid from Domino's I thought was fascinating. More people are ordering from Domino's, but then choosing a carry-out option. They don't want to pay a delivery fee. They don't want to tip the driver. So instead, they're trying to save a few bucks by picking up the pie themselves. So it just shows you that how low and moderate income households are perhaps making choices based on the fact that money's tight right now.
Oh, Roy, I'm raising my hand. I do that Domino's carry-out service all the time because it's like half the price of getting it delivered. So, yeah.
All right. Do you but do you tip still?
Do I tip? No, not when I go and pick it up myself.
All right, just wondering.
but generally,
that's your reputation. All right, you hang out with Clark Howard too much. But
no, hold on, Rory. Generally, as a former server, I'm a very generous tipper. But if I'm picking up food, I don't get it. But I listen. I understand in these uncertain economic times, and we've been covering this and talking about this for a while. The huge increase in sticker shock we get at fast food restaurants now. The Big Mac meal that used to be $4.99 is like $12 now.
Well, and that's the other hook, right? And it's people doing the math saying, well, wait a minute. If I go for even driving into work for breakfast every day, suddenly, to your point, it's not $3.99 anymore. It's $7.99, $8.99. Like, wait a minute, times 5, this is getting expensive. And what we heard from McDonald's was that the largest decline in sales was on the breakfast side. So more people are clearly opting to say, I'll have a bowl of cereal and make my own coffee and save quite a few bucks rather than make the stop at the drive-thru.
So what can be done to fight these declining sales? Bigger value meals, bigger value menus, possible. What can they do? Because obviously the McDonald's investors, Starbucks investors aren't happy with these declines.
Right. They've already said over at McDonald's the McValue offerings that they have will be extended. What's interesting is that we're actually seeing increased sales at Taco Bell, which is notorious or well-known. Maybe it's not notorious. Maybe they're well-known for having a slightly lower price point. So their sales were actually up 9%, again, suggesting that penny pinching, if you're looking at the two drive-thrus, which are probably next to each other, more people are choosing perhaps the slightly cheaper one. So look for more value combos and that sort of a thing moving forward. But it's also, there could be a factor too of the health factor, that the younger generation isn't as interested. But I should also point out that there's this theory in economics that when we have these hard economic times, we tend to treat ourselves more to the little things. So we'll take the family out for ice cream. We'll all go out to McDonald's for burgers and fries, or something like that, because we can't afford a big family vacation. We can't afford to replace the sofa or the TV. So in many ways, these chains often benefit from a recession because people are buying down, getting a little something cheaper and making it a treat. So it sort of may offset the other issue.
We shall see. All right, I'm already hungry, Rory. Thanks so much for your time, buddy.
Thanks, Mark.
Am I wrong? Am I supposed to tip the guy when I pick up my pizza at Domino's? Am I in the... No, right?
Not picking it up, no.
That's what I thought. Vinny doesn't even tip his barber, so I'm not even going to ask his opinion. So McDonald's huge losses in the first quarter, which is surprising me because we mentioned it was Lent fish sandwich season. You thought they'd get a boost in the sales, but it's not just McDonald's. Subway now going through a massive overhaul, and a number of stores are closing completely, Deborah.
Yeah, Subway is the largest restaurant chain here in the States, but it is closing stores rapidly. Last year, it closed about 630 stores alone. Now, they have been trying things like driving traffic there with that giant cookie or brownie or whatever, and then they had the $6.99 deal, but all of those kind of failed to take off. They haven't really seen more foot traffic. So there's still plenty of Subways out there. There's still like 37,000 globally and over like right about 20 here in the States, but definitely a lot less Subways here.
I haven't been to the Subway in a long time. I used to be pretty frequent goer to Subway, and it's just not even on my radar anymore. If I want a sub, I go to Publix or Jersey Mike's. I think if Subway is going to compete, they've got to get back to that $5 footlong, right? Mm-hmm. They need to be like, hey, come to Subway, you'll save, because Jersey Mike's is delicious, but it is expensive. Subway needs to get back to that $5 footlong to get the foot traffic there. Anyway, Mick Recession. All right, listen, hit me up on social media if I'm in the wrong. Not tipping the person behind the counter at Domino's when I pick up my to-go order. You should be looking into that, Longoria. You can get like 2 pizzas for the price of 1, basically, if you pick up at Domino's instead of having to deliver. It's a nice little food hack there for food insecure folk like me. All right, I just picked up some new stuff from the president in D.C. I think so. He was on Air Force One here talking about what he's going to do with the tariffs to China. Let's listen in.
Nobody understands. We're negotiating with many countries. But at the end of this, I'll set my own deals because I set the deal. They don't set the deal. I set the deal. They've been ripping us off for years. I set the deal. Every country, almost without fail, friend and foe, has been ripping us off for years. So we're meeting with almost all of them, including China. And at the end, I'm setting the deal.
All right, so President Trump says he's setting the deal. Moments ago, Kristen Holmes from CNN outside the White House in depth.
Now, when it comes to China, what we heard was really a sort of softening of rhetoric on China. He acknowledged that it's almost impossible to do business with China under the current circumstances. And he also added that they might think about lowering it, that all he wanted was a fair trade deal. Now, this might be somewhat of a relief to some Americans. Obviously, we know we've talked to small business owners who feel like they are really staring down the barrel of a gun right now when you look at those enormous tariffs with China, hoping for any sort of a deal soon. But one thing I really want to point out is what you said about Trump on Air Force One, how he mentioned this idea of a trade deal coming as soon as this week. We have heard this from the administration now for 3 weeks, and I can tell you, talking to his supporters as well as the administration, everybody is trying to get this deal done. They have been trying to get this done for weeks. I mean, I will remind you that Donald Trump said these deals were already in the works, but yet we haven't seen a single deal. So when I'm talking to these various administration officials, to these various supporters, all they are hoping for is for Donald Trump to come forward, for the administration to come forward with one trade deal, with the hope that that then sends the signal to the economy, to people, that the ball is in motion, that they are moving forward. So, of course, one of the things we're digging in on this week is how close are those talks really from happening, and what exactly is going into those negotiations?
Yeah, that is the big question. And also the president announced this 100% tariff on movies produced outside the U.S. and shown in America. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, Pamela, I mean, this is really going into the category of we still have a lot of questions about what he is talking about exactly. This is what he posted on Truth Social. He said, I am authorizing the Department of Commerce and the United States Trade Representative to immediately begin the process of instituting a 100% tariff on any and all movies coming into our country that are produced in foreign lands. We want movies made in America again. The reason why there are so many questions around this is what exactly does this mean? First of all, he said that this had to be done, that this was something that would be a foreign crisis, a national security threat. But also, when you look at movies as a whole, what part of the process is he talking about exactly? We know that there are dozens, if not hundreds, of movies that have production companies across the world that do tiny parts of each movie. We also know that there are huge tax incentives to film movies in various places. So how exactly this would work and what this would look like, a lot of questions going into that right now, Pam.
There you go. Kristen Holmes outside the White House just moments ago getting new word from President Trump on what he wants to do with the tariffs. Speaking of the movie tariffs, coming up at 10:24, Chris Palmieri from Bloomberg News is going to join us on what the reaction is from the markets there and what the reaction is from Hollywood about these possible tariffs. Reaction in the markets right now, a mixed bag. A mixed bag on Wall Street. Dow's up 23, S&P's down 23, Nasdaq's down 100. So, but the Dow still 41,349, which is comfortably, for my peace of mind, up over that 40,000 mark. So we'll monitor the markets for you throughout the day. By the way, we talked earlier about the AI-generated Pope Trump meme. The process of selecting a successor to Pope Francis begins this week. We get more information from CBS's Christian Benavides.
In Rome, cardinals from around the world are gathering in preparation for the conclave, the election in which a new pope will be selected. The conclave doesn't officially get underway until Wednesday, but cardinals are already coming together for dinners and discussions. The new pope will be selected in the Vatican's famed Sistine Chapel by cardinals who are under the age of 80.
Now, Deborah, how long do you think this is going to take? So the last two popes, the conclave, were 2 days each. Are we hearing that it's going to be longer, shorter? Do we have any idea?
I think it's going to be a little bit longer this time. There was so much focus on Francis and this particular one. Not that Benedict wasn't an important pope, but his reign was a lot shorter, and I think Francis made a lot more impact globally. And I don't know what direction they want to go. Do they want to stay that way? Do they want to go back to more traditional ways? So I think it's going to take just a couple days longer, so maybe a week.
I heard there's a story in Atlanta's Morning News today, and I mentioned this last week that people, you could vote on or bet on who's going to be the next pope. And there was a story this morning on Atlanta's Morning News with Chris Chandler. I think it's something like, and these are overseas. I don't think you can bet it legal here in the United States. I'm not 100% sure. But there's already been like $19 million bet on who the next pope will be. It like horse racing, right? You can bet on Secretariat or Serenity or journalism, whatever. But you could also bet on how long it's going to take. So if you have any inside scoop, Deborah, if you have a cardinal on speed dial,
I do not.
We can find out. Or you can just bet from what country the next pope will be on. We got to get our DGen gambling correspondent, Chris Crawford, on that. He could find out what the odds are.
Oh, yeah.
Would that be sacrilegious? I don't want to bet on.
Catholic? Oh, did he go to Catholic?
No, I'm just saying for us on the show, would that be like, oh, let's throw $10 on the guy from the Philippines?
I'm not doing that.
Oh.
You can do that. I will not do that.
I don't want to, yeah. I mean, I'm just fascinated by the history of it, what goes on. And we had, was it Kim Commando on last week about how much technological jamming is going in around the Vatican?
At the Vatican,
because they are totally reclusive, the cardinals. Like they are, what's the word when you go, when the jury is put aside and they can't be interrupted, whatever that phrase
sequestered?
Is. Sequestered, yes. Thank you, Deborah. Like they're totally sequestered, so they can't have their smartphones or anything. They can't even download the WSB Traffic app, which is sacrilegious in its own right. Prior to updating the app, Alex Williams going to get an update on the current ride right now.
Going to tell you about the few brake lights I'm seeing out of Norcross into DeKalb, Mark. 85 southbound. The right lane's bunching up from Jimmy Carter Boulevard. All those cars and trucks trying to ramp onto I-285 Spaghetti Junction there. A little slow into Lawrenceville, 316 eastbound. You got that right lane construction near Riverside Parkway. You're seeing the brake lights there back to Sugarloaf Parkway. Traffic brought to you by Dairy Queen. Get big summer flavor in every bite with the new DQ Summer Blizzard Treat menu featuring new mixing bowl mashup, s'mores, and more. Available now. DQ, happy tastes good at participating locations. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
On air,
online,
on the app,
where you get your news,
is where you'll win.
Download the WSB radio app now and maybe win $1,000.
That is awesome.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
5 words, 5 times a day, every weekday.
This is Jill from Roswell, and I just won $1,000.
Just enter the word at WSBradio.com or on the WSB radio app.
Your next chance to win is coming up at 12.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz
on 95.5 WSB.
This is Scott Slade. Nothing takes the place of time when it comes to spotting problems with your health, especially cancer. The earlier, the better. Like me. My doctor saw one lab work number that led to a diagnosis early enough, so I still had options. Now, that's where virtual imaging comes in. They've got the best CT imaging in the Southeast with 98% accuracy and low radiation. Virtual imaging's LD CT whole body scan can be invaluable, giving you time and options for early treatment. They can detect tumors as early as precancerous virtually anywhere in your body, and aneurysms you may not even know are there. For a limited time, Virtual Imaging is offering their LDCT body scan for only $995 per scan. That's a $2,495 value. Now, appointments must be scheduled in May. There are a limited number of scans available at this price, so a few minimum requirements may apply. Don't put this off. I've done it. Call 404-678-SCAN. That's 404-678-SCAN. Or make an appointment by visiting their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed. Chris, with all the things we're reading, seeing, and living through these days, from rate cuts, election season, and now a new administration, now seems like a great time to make sure we have that comprehensive plan in place. You know, the one that covers all our financial bases.
There are occasions throughout the year where I feel like it's critical for people to engage their financial lives and get the information that they deserve from a financial advisory team. And this is one of those times, to be quite frank. So we ask that you call us if you have a minimum of $500,000 in your full portfolio. But we're going to do away with that minimum so that those folks can have an equal opportunity to understand what's in their portfolio as well. Now, you have to have some money, right? I can't help you to build your wealth at work, right? But I sure can help, I believe, with your 401k, IRA management. There's probably 2 or 3 things that'll surprise you that you may want to take action on. So the next 10 people that call in, we'll work up either a portfolio x-ray, or if you feel like you need a full retirement plan, go to unleashyourmoney.com, click on portfolio x-ray, or click on full retirement plan. We think you'll be impressed enough, and we want you to become a client. There's no question about it. We believe that we are a very competent fiduciary advisory team, and we want to offer that to our listeners. Let Hoffman Financial Group actually show you how we perform, and I believe we perform at the pinnacle of this industry.
Call the Hoffman Financial Group at 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
Don't miss your chance to take advantage of the Buy 4, Get 4 free sale and pay nothing until 2027. Sale ends soon only from Window Nation. Schedule your free estimate now at 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com. That's windownation.com.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for mouth-watering meals and appetizing ingredients. Our low prices add up to big savings, plus over $600 in digital coupons each week, and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. At Kroger, you always get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
You can save big on 12 packs of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or Canada Dry. Select varieties or buy 2, get 2 free with your card. Limit 8. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
We're all getting long in the tooth, friends, am I right? What about your heating and cooling systems? Are they aging? Well, let Reliable Heating and Air protect your AC from breakdowns and your budget, just $14.99 a month. Reliable Heating and Air, licensed, bonded, and insured. Amazing service. I can tell you firsthand, Reliable is the best. They're licensed, bonded, and insured. No deductibles, no claims or paperwork, no service fees, just amazing coverage for as low as $14.99 a month, and next day installation guaranteed, or they pay you $500. So protect your aging heating and cooling system with the amazing folks at Reliable Heating and Air. Just $14.99 a month gives you amazing peace of mind. Get all the info and schedule a consultation online at reliableair.com. That's reliableair.com. Don't wait until your aging systems go kaput. Get your protection now at reliableair.com.
Is painting the house on your project list? Make this the last time you paint with Rhino Shield, backed by a 25-year warranty.
Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
11:23 on the Mark Arum Show. Coming up after the new news, Deborah's going to give away the tickets. Don't want to steal, that's stolen valor. Deborah's going to give away her paid tickets to Alice Cooper, Judas Priest, Thursday, September 8th at Ameris Bank Amphitheater. And then yours truly, will give you another keyword in the 5K day bonus splits shortly after the new news here on 95.5 WSB. Another chance for you to win $1,000 here on 95.5 WSB. Just saw a Truth Social post from President Trump. I want to get that to you. Quote, I had a very good and productive telephone conversation with the president of Turkey, Erdogan, concerning many subjects, including the war with Russia, Ukraine, all things Syria, Gaza, and more. The president invited me to go to Turkey at a future date, and likewise, he will be coming to Washington, D.C. During my 4 years as president, my relationship with President Erdogan was excellent. We worked together closely on numerous things, including the fact that he helped return Pastor Andrew Brunson, who was in prison, back to the United States immediately upon my request. In any event, I look forward to working with the president on getting the ridiculous but deadly war between Russia and Ukraine ended now, in all capital letters, exclamation point. That, I have no doubt, that was a President Trump generated post. I'm still dubious that he's the one that came up with the AI generated meme of him as the Pope. I think that was someone on the staff. His Vinny, if you will. His Vinny drip. Whatever the Vinny drip is in the White House circumstance, I don't think President Trump posted that himself. But anyway, as Stephen Portnoy said, it's probably not going to be a news story for much longer. But anyway, I just want to update that. More foreign leaders. We can expect a flurry of them, by the way, to come to the White House, especially as we hit closer to that 90-day end of the pause of the tariffs. I think we're going to see a flurry of world leaders head to D.C. to try to negotiate better terms with President Trump, come kiss the ring, and make things happen. We were going to go to Bloomberg to get more on the movie industry thing, but he's calling back in a few. Okay. Chris Palmieri from Bloomberg's going to join us next half hour, as is Pamela Falk from the United Nations. I'm really excited to get Pamela on here. Tried to get her last week, but she was booked up. Mike Walls, you might remember, has stepped down as National Security Advisor. President Trump going to nominate him to be the United States ambassador to the United Nations. Well, I think is a really plum gig. Correspondent Pamela Falk's going to join us live after news, weather, and traffic and tell us exactly what that position means and how important it is in the scope of global affairs between the United States and our allies and enemies. So Pamela Falk joins us live right after news, weather, and traffic. Social medias, we got them, and they are active throughout the broadcast at Mark Arum, MarkArum.
Hey y'all, Belinda Skelton for Four Seasons Home Care, and I'm not going to cry in this commercial, I hope. As many of you know, I lost both my parents recently, but I am so thankful they were able to finish their lives at home where they wanted to be. It's all because of the incredible caregivers who came to see them every day. I am so grateful to Four Seasons Home Care. This is a real family-owned company that vets and hires every single one of their caregiving specialists. They don't have contractors. They're not some national corporation. They are simply the best here in Georgia. And a lot of you have asked me about my journey and if home care is right for your aging parents. I'll tell you what I tell them. Call Four Seasons Home Care and just start the conversation. It's a 100% free call that can change everything. Google Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta. That's Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta.
As Georgia's homegrown leader in business insurance, Builders partners with thousands of local businesses to safeguard workers and help them return to their lives after injuries. Explore reliable workers' compensation solutions at BLDRS.com. Builders, insurance built strong.
Rates are up, rates are down. Every day it's something different. If you're curious about what's going on and when the best time will be to buy or refinance your home, call the experts I trust at Myland. This is Scott Slade. There's a reason the guys and gals at Myland are able to close loans that other local banks just can't. The folks at Myland are local and somebody you can trust to make sure you get the best loan for your needs at the best rate. You don't have to take my word for it. Here are lines from some recent testimonials. Myland kept me up to date and informed with every step of the way. They make you feel like you're one of the most important clients they have. Myland specializes in home financing, and they've seen it all. So whether you want to access the equity in your home to pay for other debts, buy a new home, or anything else, Myland is the place to call. 770-817-2000. That's 770-817-2000. Or online, it's myland.com. Spelled it M-I-L-E-N-D. NMLS and Georgia Mortgage License C148769. Myland's located at 8995 Westside Parkway, Alpharetta, Georgia 30009. Myland is an equal housing lender.
A word of caution for motorcycle riders. Remember, 18-wheelers have bigger blind spots and it takes them longer to stop than a smaller vehicle. Eric Von Hassler here to remind you that if an 18-wheeler forces you to lay your bike down, you need to call in Steel Horse Law. Attorney George Stein is a motorcycle rider and he understands bikers' needs. Get more info and request a free Rider's Advantage card at steelhorselaw.com.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
Traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 11:30. I'm Austin Eller. This news brought to you by Rocco's European Garage. Our top local story, Georgia DOT crews are busy clearing a homeless camp located under the downtown connector in Atlanta today.
They're following the recommendation from the City of Atlanta's Task Force on Homelessness Response, which has new procedures on how the city manages encampment closures. This particular camp is located along Pryor Street near the I-75-85 corridor downtown, where signs have been posted warning of the closure since late last month. Mayor Andre Dickens says these camps are not safe for the people living there, the surrounding communities, or the public at large. The city's working with residents to help them find a new place to stay. Jennifer Perry, 95.5 WSB.
Tariffs could have an impact on your Mother's Day purchases this year. The Society of American Florists says the floral industry is not immune.
It's kind of changing the florist industry in a way.
Sherry Moon, owner of Buckhead Wrights Florists, says they've been in business since 1946 and the tariffs are causing prices to skyrocket. It's not just the flowers that are increasing in prices either.
The vases that come in from China or Mexico, those prices have gone up exponentially from the ones from the United States.
She also says shipping costs have increased drastically. More air travel issues pop up with a rash of cancellations at Newark, New Jersey's airport, and another issue involving jetliners and a military helicopter near Washington's Reagan National Airport.
This is an example of how the system does work when something is out of the ordinary. The air traffic controller detected the situation and directed the two airliners to go around.
Robert Sumwalt there referencing that incident at Reagan. He says safety issues can't be fixed overnight, but he says ultimately the industry needs many more air traffic controllers. The last pre-Civil War building in Cobb County's town center area, the McAfee House, is being prepared for a move to its new home in Ball Ground.
The historic McAfee House will make its move from Bells Ferry Road in Marietta to Ball Ground in sections.
At first we thought it was only going to be 2 pieces, then we were like, oh my gosh, it's going to have to be 4.
And I think right now it's probably going to be 6 to 8 pieces.
Brittany Lusk and husband Lee have plans for the house.
We're just going to see what cost allows. I would love to make it some kind of history center.
The move takes place this month.
I think in the end we'll be able to pull it off without a hitch, I hope.
Lisa Nicholas, 95.5 WSB.
It's an 8th annual celebration for one Atlanta-based nonprofit focused on those with mental health challenges. Founder of the National Silence the Shame Day, Shanti Das, tells WSB the goal is to combat the stigma around mental illness and seeking help for it.
It runs deep with my dad, my best friend, my own personal journey and story. And if I can help save one life or 1,000 lives or even more, that's what it's about.
Now, Das says her own turning point came in 2015. That's when she got professional help instead of taking her own life. She reminds everyone that dialing 988 in an emotional crisis can help de-escalate it and get you on the path to healing. It's 11:33. Live team coverage now of traffic and weather. Alex Williams is live in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
Just had some traffic pacing on two of our south side interstates, 285 eastbound, the outer loop passing Jonesboro Road, and 675 northbound leaving Anvil Block Road. Luckily, all that traffic pacing has wrapped up, so those delays there in DeKalb and Clayton counties have improved. Elsewhere, 316 eastbound, still seeing the slow zone out into Lawrenceville with the right lane construction near Riverside Parkway, and 75 northbound heading out of Marietta and Kennesaw. A few taps of the brake from Highway 5 up to Chastain Road, exit 271. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Blue sky, sunshine, and a few clouds today. High 73, lows tonight in the upper 40s, low 50s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, high 77. Rain showers return on Wednesday.
Right now it's 63 degrees in Buford, 65 in College Park, and 64 in Midtown. More news at noon. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
The news of the day through the eyes of Eric Von Hessler.
It's the only way to do any kind of reform of the federal government.
If it's on your mind, it's on his.
I don't remember it.
Eric Von Hessler. Today at 3.
Who are you speaking for?
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Mike Waltz has an incredible background and experience. He worked diligently to make certain he had a strong role in
That's
the national
Republican
security.
Representative from Ohio, Mike Turner, talking about Mike Waltz and his future job as ambassador to the United Nations. We go live to the UN. Next on the Mark Arum Show.
Dave Baker here. If the temperature inside your house doesn't fit with the temperature outside your house, you need to call Coolray Heating and Cooling. In May, you can get your HVAC system tuned up for only $79, or you can get up to $2,250 in rebates with the purchase of a complete Carrier comfort system, plus get free attic insulation. For comfort that lasts all year, visit Coolray.com to schedule your appointment today. Coolray and Carrier. Turn to the experts.
Customers often ask, what's the right mattress for me? At the Original Mattress Factory, our answer is always the same. It's all about personal preference. You should select the one that feels right to you, because there isn't a one-mattress-fits-all solution. That's why we offer a selection of quality and comfort choices for every preference. And our sales team will help you find the right product for your specific needs. At the Original Mattress Factory, we have the right mattress for just about everyone. Stop by to find yours today.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter, or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights, at home or at work. We'll make your happy place your own. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
Attention men, are you suffering from ED or PE? Here's an important message from Choice Men's Health.
I'm Dr. Katz and I'm the Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Are you performing the way you want to in the bedroom? If the answer is no and you've tried Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra and were disappointed, then you need to come see us immediately. If you don't see results on the first visit, then there's no charge. Many of our patients have medical conditions such as diabetes, hypertension, obesity, and prostate problems. I'm happy to say that we have 98% success rate with all our patients. Our customized solutions will allow you to perform within 10 minutes and last an hour and even longer. You can regain your love life and tackle your ED and PE problems. Guys, your partner will never complain again. Our clinic has the most affordable prices, so if you visit other clinics and you're not completely satisfied, then you need to call Choice Men's Health.
Regain your love life regardless of your age or medical history. Choice Men's Health guarantees results on your first visit or you pay nothing. Call now, 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170.
Critters creeping? Better call Breda Pest Management. They handle bugs and critters. And Breda is proud to sponsor Scott Slade, Georgia, every Thursday on Atlanta's Morning News.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
He packed in the animals 2x2, ox, a camel, and a kangaroo.
11:37 on this busy Newsday Monday. Welcome back to the Mark Arum Show. 30 minutes from now, I'm going to give you another keyword in the 5K a day bonus blitz. Another chance for you to win $1,000. But right now, we've got an amazing pair of concert tickets to give away. Deborah, what do we have this morning?
Oh yeah, the godfather of shock rock and the Priest, Judas Priest, along with Alice Cooper, Thursday, September 18th at Ameris Bank Amphitheater.
Phenomenal. Let's do the 15th caller to 404-872-0750. 15th caller to 404-872-0750 wins a pair of tickets to see Alice Cooper and Judas Priest Thursday, September 18th at Ameris Bank Amphitheater. As promised, heading live to New York City, the United Nations. Joining us live, correspondent for the UN for U.S. News and World Report, our old friend Pamela Falk. Pamela, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Mark. Very well. I mean, the UN is sort of in a waiting mode in terms of the next U.S. ambassador.
So, obviously, this was a big story last week. Mike Waltz is stepping down from his national security advisor post, and then almost immediately, President Trump said, I'm going to nominate him to be ambassador to the United States, which is still vacant after Elise Stefanik had her nomination withdrawn. And people were trying to decide if this was a promotion, a demotion. I thought it was a lateral move, but if you asked me what job I would want, NSA director or ambassador to the UN, ambassador? I would take that UN ambassadorship in a heartbeat. Am I right?
Well, you are right, of course, Mark. Always on the mark, so to speak. And part of it is it's a plum job. I mean, it's at the United Nations. You have access through the ambassadors and sometimes in person to the heads of state of 193 countries. And you also, depending on the administration, the ambassadors in recent decades have been cabinet level. So the last few go regularly to Washington and participate in cabinet meetings. So they're very close to the president, and yet it's in New York, and there's a lot of buzz around the UN about what can be done. But this is a time, Mark, when there's so many crises that haven't been solved for many years, and that's Ukraine, the Middle East. Now you got India, Pakistan, two nuclear neighbors threatening each other. You've got the Iran nuclear deal. There's so much going on, and even though there's an acting UN ambassador, the whole world, I mean, I see it every day, is waiting to see who the next one is. And so Walt's nomination is really interesting, and yet, as you say, hard to really say. He still has the president's support. He comes from such a great background. He represented Florida's 6th congressional district. He's a retired Army National Guard, former Green Beret, 4 Bronze Stars, and yet he got caught up in the Signal Gate, as it's called, where he put a journalist on a very sensitive, secure, what should have been secure chat about a Yemen attack on the Houthis, and so that created quite a stir. And the stir was before that with him, and that's I believe the bigger issue, not the chat, which of course will come up at confirmation hearings, but also that he wasn't really in line. What happened in February was that he wasn't totally in line with President Trump's views of war and peace. Yeah. In other words, he met with Netanyahu behind the president's back, encouraging an attack on Iran. He was much more hawkish on Russia. So it's hard to say what happens in confirmation hearings.
Pamela Falk joining us live from the United Nations here on the Mark Arum Show. I should know the answer to this, Pamela, but I don't. Who is the interim ambassador in the meantime?
Oh, her name is Dorothy Shea. She's been there for quite a while. She's a Foreign Service appointment, and she has been, since the election, putting out basically what Secretary of State Rubio wants the U.S. position to be. It's just that the general sense, she doesn't do what we call stakeouts. She doesn't speak to the press much. She is really acting as an interim. And right now, in terms of Waltz's nomination, it's a very divided, very closely divided Senate. He has to get the approval. First, he has to get through the committee. And all of this, the Democrats are seeing as an opportunity to bring up gripes with all of this. And so it's hard to say if he'd actually get through. But my guess is, I don't guess.
Yeah, sources tell me he's fairly well liked by the Senate and should get confirmed, but it's going to be a crazy confirmation.
But it's going to be bruising.
Yeah,
exactly.
for sure. Pamela, are the U.S. interests hurt at the UN by not having a permanent ambassador, by having just an interim?
Absolutely, no question. And it's not because Dorothy Shea is not, Ambassador Shea is not totally capable, which she is. It's just that there's no voice of the Trump administration, and that's really what people want to hear. They need to know that they're speaking with the U.S. today. And so that's what's going on. There's a real sense that everything is going on in Washington. You've got the negotiations going on with the Ukraine mineral deal that went through, but the big deal is still out there: Middle East crisis and deportations and refugees and all of that. And so the UN is looking for except for cuts which have happened, the UN is looking, and the member states are looking, especially the UK, France, Russia, and China are looking to what Trump says about certain things, not necessarily what the party line is today in terms of what the U.S. says. So it's hurting the ability to move things forward at the UN to support what Washington's doing in the Trump administration. So it's a very difficult time, and certainly an economic crisis at the UN. But right now, it would be really, everyone's looking forward to someone being appointed. And as you say, it certainly looks like it could be difficult, but that it might very well get through.
God, I'm jealous.
But not for a few months.
Yeah.
It looks like June or July, because everything has to be in place when the UN turns 80 years old in September for the big General Assembly show.
Such a plum gig. I'm very jealous of Mike Waltz if he does get it. Pamela,
well, as you know, you should come visit.
Oh, I plan on it.
When that moment comes.
Pamela Falk, U.S. News and World Report, and invaluable asset for us at the United Nations. You can follow Pamela on X, Twitter, at Pamela Falk. Pamela, so good to have you on the show, my friend. Take care.
Wonderful to talk, Mark. Take care.
There you go. All right, interesting. So, yeah, U.S. interests are hurt without the confirmation. Quick update, correction. I apologize in advance on the pronunciation of the winner of the Kentucky Derby. I would not have bet on it because the name was not Serenity. Here's the call from the Kentucky Derby.
Side, the two of them go right by with a furlong to run. Journalism and sovereignty.
Sovereignty.
Nose to nose, down
Not
to
Serenity. Sovereignty.
Sovereignty has taken the lead.
Won the. So there you go. So I wouldn't have. I don't feel bad because if I had seen on the betting slip Serenity, I would have been like, oh yeah, I'm putting all my money on Serenity now. But it was Sovereignty. So just a quick update there for all the horse fanatics that were like, Serenity didn't win the Kentucky Derby. It was Sovereignty. Sovereignty. All right, continue our team coverage of the possible foreign movie tariffs. Joining us live from Bloomberg News covering the story, it's Chris Palmieri. Chris, good morning. Thanks for your time.
Hey, no problem.
All right, what do these tariffs look like, and how would they be implemented if they go into effect?
Those are very good questions. I wish I knew the answer to. This was all based on just one post from the president, and he was short on specifics. And if you think about how movies are made today, a company like Warner Brothers, based here in the U.S., could have producers, directors, even a largely U.S. Crew, but shoot the movie in England or New Zealand or just about anywhere. Then they could bring it back here for all kinds of work, visual effects, sound, editing. So what constitutes a foreign movie in this situation? That's
I brought
clear.
I don't know how old you are, Chris, but when I was growing up, my favorite movie, and to this day, is Raiders of the Lost Ark, which was filmed in the Mideast, but it was Spielberg and George Lucas, an American film company. If these proposed tariffs went into effect, would that movie be tariffed, even though it was an American production just filmed overseas?
Really hard to say because we're just there's no details. But one of the interesting things about this, as we reported yesterday, is this seems to be inspired by a visit that actor Jon Voight did over the weekend. He and his team were at Mar-a-Lago with the president both Saturday and Sunday, watched the Kentucky Derby together, and they were presenting a plan to have more tax credits in the federal tax credits, sort of similar to what Georgia does to encourage production. And this seems to have inspired the president. They didn't present the tariff idea, but lo and behold, on Sunday afternoon, he puts that out.
All right, we're going to get Jon Voight on the show next week to give us an inside scoop.
The Midnight Cowboy.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone's talking about me. Hey, Chris, I appreciate you jumping on, buddy.
All right, thanks.
There you go. Chris Palmieri from Bloomberg News. Hey, congrats to Barbie in Shadydale. She won a pair of tickets to see Alice Cooper, Judas Priest, Thursday, September 18th at Ameris Bank Amphitheater, courtesy of the Mark Arum Show on WSB. Don't forget, right after the new news, I am going to give you another keyword in the 5K Day Bonus Blitz. Chance for you to win $1,000 here on the Nifty 750. Hopefully things are nifty on the roads. Back live to Atlanta's only 24-hour traffic center, Alex Williams.
Yeah, not too bad out there right now, Mark. We are seeing a few brake lights, though, on the south side, 75 southbound in Stockbridge, leaving Highway 138, trying to get down to Hudson Bridge Road. Looks like just volume, not seeing any crashes in the way. You got that right lane construction heading toward Lithonia, 20 eastbound before Panola Road, exit 71. And still seeing a few brake lights into Lawrenceville with the right lane construction, 316 eastbound near Riverside Parkway. Those delays start right around Sugarloaf Parkway. No need for an alternate. Just bear with that for a few minutes. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
The morning rush hour, the evening rush hour, and everything in between.
Slow spots are starting to build up the east side perimeter on 285 North.
Tune in 24/7 with the Triple Team Traffic Center.
We've had several breakdowns, including one in the express lane.
Your source for Atlanta's traffic.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Hot water heater just not cutting it anymore? You don't get that piping hot shower you want every morning? Hey, it's Mark Arum back from my friends at Reliable Heating and Air. Check out this amazing deal. New water heater, only $29.99 a month, and make no payments for 3 whole months. Or you can go tankless, only $59.99 a month, and you can enjoy that lovely, endless hot water. Same day water heater installation guaranteed, or they pay you $300. Get that new water heater now. Save a ton of money. Just go online to reliableair.com.
Comcast Business is celebrating Small Business Month by giving you a $1,000 small business bonus when you switch to a qualifying gig speed package from the company with over 99.99% network reliability. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 1, company merch for staff. Stylin'. Or possibility number 24, the latest software. Upgrade. Or possibility number 192, new equipment powered by gig speeds. Or possibility number 555, a 3D printer. Rapid prototyping, anyone? Switch to Comcast Business for over 99.99% network reliability, advanced cybersecurity, and now get started with a $1,000 small business bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
In 62225, new customers only with 2-year agreement. Other restrictions apply.
This is Scott Slade. Nothing takes the place of time when it comes to spotting problems with your health, especially cancer. The earlier, the better. Like me. My doctor saw one lab work number that led to a diagnosis early enough, so I still had options. That's where virtual imaging comes in. They've got the best CT imaging in the Southeast with 98% accuracy and low radiation. Virtual imaging's LD CT whole body scan can be invaluable, giving you time and options for early treatment. They can detect tumors as early as precancerous virtually anywhere in your body, and aneurysms you may not even know are there. For a limited time, Virtual Imaging is offering their LDCT body scan for only $995 per scan. That's a $2,495 value. Now, appointments must be scheduled in May. There are a limited number of scans available at this price, so a few minimum requirements may apply. Don't put this off. I've done it. Call 404-678-SCAN. That's 404-678-SCAN. Or make an appointment by visiting their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Attention seniors, do you want more personalized healthcare with more one-on-one time with your doctor? Then join us at the grand opening of CenterWell Swanee. CenterWell offers senior-focused primary care that's centered on you. Celebrate with us on Wednesday, May 14th, near the Walmart off Interstate 85 here in Swanee from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Enjoy food, music, and more at this free community event. Plus, tour the new doctor's office and meet the care team. For details, visit CometoCenterwellGeorgia.com. That's CometoCenterwellGeorgia.com.
You still want a new deck on your house, but you think you may have missed a deck building window? Well, you're wrong. Dave Baker here. At Ben Hill Renovations, deck building goes on year-round. Whether your existing deck is old, rotting, and unsafe, or you just want to upgrade your outdoor living space, now is the perfect time to get the ball rolling. Check out their new website at bhrenovations.com. Better yet, go to their showroom, speak with the designer, and see all that they have to offer up close. Ben Hill Renovations, creating raving fans since 1964.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
Let's see, if something costs less, a lot less, but people are actually happier with it, that sounds like something to look into. And that's MetaShare. Maybe you've heard joining MetaShare can save you or your family up to $500 a month, and that's huge. But it's also true, people are just happier with it. They love being part of something that reflects and promotes their values and what they believe in. MetaShare works, too. It's been around for 30 years now, and members have shared more than $7 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care, whether you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan that you're happy with. Here you go. You can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. It's 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE. Happy 36th birthday, singer Chris Brown. This is his song Forever, staple in casinos throughout Las Vegas. Vinny Drip, our adjacent musical court. Was there something controversial about Chris Brown?
Yeah, 2009, he got in a little altercation with a famous singer, Rihanna.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. So should I not, was he canceled? Should I have not have played that? Deborah, what do you think? You're the official
I'm
musical
not a Chris
correspondent.
Brown. He punched Brianna in the
Oh.
face.
Oh.
Altercation.
Rewind. Sorry
Yeah.
I played that. Let me get that taste out of her mouth. Here's Adele instead. I'll wish Adele a happy birthday instead, 37 years old. Yeah, I knew there was something about Chris Brown. I just couldn't. Anyway, Adele, happy birthday, 37. All right, final. I know this is a weird story to end the show on, but I've often said if I were to be executed, I want the firing squad. I don't want the electric chair. I don't like needles with the lethal injection. And I would say just put a hood on my head and give me the firing squad. Deborah has the most painful ways to be executed. Am I wrong in choosing the firing squad method, Deborah?
You might be wrong choosing the firing squad. Now, this list was put together by experts that do executions, I guess. I don't want to be part of that team.
Because you can't really ask the people that have been executed, like, what was that painful? You know, on a scale of 1 to 10, the electric chair, how bad was it? Or a 1 to 10, how was the? So we're just going to assume that these experts know.
Yeah,
all right.
I guess so.
All right, I'm sorry.
The most painful, excruciating way to be executed would be the firing squad.
Real? They're just bad shots. Then, like, it should be 1 to the heart, and that's it, right? Boom.
Maybe.
I don't
think they're that good of a shot. That's
all right.
the problem.
After firing squad is the most painful. What's below that?
That's the one that's been a little controversial, the nitrogen gas. We've talked about that a little bit. Basically suffocation,
Yeah, I don't like
guess.
that.
Mm-hmm. After that is lethal injection. And then hanging. Do they hang people anymore?
In certain, not in the United States, I don't
Okay.
think.
Well, hanging comes in fourth. And then fifth on this list of 5 is electric chair.
So that's the least painful, is the electric chair?
Of the ones that they have listed. I'm sure there's other ways.
I know
but those
there's
are the...
probably not a pain-free way to be executed, but I would much rather take the firing squad than being hanged. Like the hanging's noose. So much can go wrong with that. No. So
Yeah, I've seen too many westerns where things go wrong in the hangings.
I'm giving you power of attorney, Deborah. If I'm to be executed,
Okay, I'm sure Maya will appreciate that.
I want the firing squad.
Longoria's fact of the day.
All right, today is National Hoagie Day, and the term hoagie likely originated in Philadelphia, possibly with Italian immigrants working at the Hog Island shipyard during World War I who called them hoggies.
Oh.
The name grinder may have come from a harder Italian bread requiring more chewing, or from the dock workers who ground the whole of the ships.
That's what we called them in Connecticut. We're grinders, not hoagies. Grinders. Yeah.
Can't use
I
that
want
now.
I want a meatball grinder. All right, good job, Longoria. Let's bang out some stars of the show and get out of here. Wow, we're late. I'm so sorry.
And now, are you guys ready for the Mark Aram star of the show?
My Cinco de Mayo amigos, Deborah and Longoria, coming to work on the 5th of May. Good job. Vinny did a great job. Robert Berger in Jerusalem, Pamela Falk at the UN. Social media is active, at Mark Aram. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to give you a keyword in the 5K day bonus blitz right after the new news. Stay safe. Have a great Monday, Atlanta.
I'd rather live in his world than live without him in mine.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
WSB consumer expert Clark Howard, sponsored by Ragsdale Heating, Air, Plumbing, and Electrical.
A third of Gen Z already are investing by their early 20s. And where should that money be going? If you're a 20-something, 30-something, or especially if you're a teenager working your first job, I want you opening your own Roth IRA and investing in it. And I want you to go with one of the low-cost companies. I got a list of them on Clark.com so that your money's working for you, not for some investment house.
For many women in our community, support for our physical and mental health feels out of reach.
When your workday is long.
And your budget is tight.
And your village is busy.
And the road between home and help is a 6-lane highway with no crosswalk.
Northside Hospital believes women deserve better.